Sure.
What is up, Zelda Speedruns? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. It's time for yet another Qualifier, Season 6, Qualifier number 16. Without further ado, here are your commentators, Melqui and Chuckles501. Take it away, folks.
Thanks, Tobias, and welcome in everyone to Zelda Speedruns for the NA Weekly, doubling, as Tobias said, for Qualifier 16 of the upcoming Season 6 Standard Tournament for Ocarina of Time Randomizer. I am pumped. How are you feeling, Chuckles?
Yo, Melqui! This is going to be such a fantastic race. I'm so glad to be here commentating this qual. We've got Purple Rupees, Broten Dodosa, Rafa, and Emo. A great collection of runners to be showcasing today. So let's get the show on the road as soon as everybody is ready to go.
Yep, we are just waiting on those runners to ready up and the force start to go. My clock just changed time, so hopefully within the next 30 seconds here, we'll get that official countdown.
Yo, we're going to be rolling soon. And actually, we started as Child with Serenade. So Child is random spawns, and Serenade gives us a guaranteed kind of location to get to market easy. So depending on where our starting spawn is going to be, this is actually going to be a crazy start. We could see runners going all over the place today. So let's see what goes on here.
Yeah, absolutely. And someone in chat saying, Rush Lake, honestly, that's been a very interesting thing. Usually we see runners kind of avoid Lake because setting up Scarecrow is slow, the checks there are slow. We have a 15-second countdown, let's go! But having Serenade makes all of that less painful.
It's kind of like a fake prelude, like getting to field easy, but we could see like back of lake hints really quickly. We could see, you know, wherever our spawn's going to be, which is, of course,
right by chickens.
It's right by a chicken.
Yes, and Rafa and Bro gonna go for it with the chickens. Emo seems to be checking man on roof, and Purple just playing Serenade, possibly going adult.
Yeah, it's like depending on where people's kind of mindsets are for the seed. If you want to play safe, I think you're going to go for chickens. If you're going to play an aggressive playstyle, you know, chickens was reduced from 7 to 4, and it's still kind of slow.
Yeah, spawning right by that one chicken, though, like, honestly, it's quick. Oh, Emo finding the lights in Cac Open Grotto right off the bat, so that's nice. Runners probably won't be missing that.
Yeah, right off glow mode.
Ooh, a wallet.
Yeah, a wallet, and you might be thinking, and I've said this a couple of times, you might get a wallet and you think, okay, I can buy a tunic. But that isn't the first thing that you should be thinking of when you get a wallet. The first thing you should be thinking of is that, can I buy bomb shoes from the salesman? Because that is so important in breaking logic in these settings. So we don't have a bomb bag, we've got an early wallet on the chickens. If we get that Requiem access really quickly, then we may see some bomb shoes early on.
Yeah, and explosives can really, like, make or break how you end up routing, depending on where the items landed when generating the seed. Purple having a little trouble with Talon's chickens here.
These chickens are a nightmare sometimes. A good strat is that if they've got the diamond across their head, then you've already picked that chicken up. And there is this also thing, is that if they're pecking deeper into the ground, then that is also another identifier of that chicken. But that could be kind of difficult.
Oh, speaking of chews.
Well, there goes my first thing you should be thinking about is whether you could buy bomb shoes, because we're just going to get bomb shoes straight off the bat.
So. Wrecked, Chuckles.
What do I know?
So, looks like Bro farmed a lot of money there. Rafa opting to steal from Talon to pay for the minigame here.
Yeah, fair option. There are 10 rupees in Talon, so it's easy to get these rupees.
And there's Prelude, so all of the benefit of that Serenade just gone.
So, starting with discount Prelude, sorry. We just have Prelude now, so yeah, Serenade now sucks, so I mean, the great thing about Serenade, it really is to confirm the Scarecrow early on without doing Valley Lake.
Yep.
So many times you enter that fire temple and you're like, oh, I just hope nothing's on Pierre or anything like that. And if you can just confirm that Scarecrow quickly, that goes away. That kind of mindset, that negativity goes away.
Yeah, and chat pointing out that was a 10-pack of chews. The most likely, there are 3 of those versus 1 5 and 1 20 pack in the pool. Is that Rudo's letter?
Tobias, get in the conversation.
Tobias, we need your help.
It is.
It is in fact Rudo's letter. So that's really exciting to find when your child, they have chews, they can break into domain with a chicken and turn that in, meaning they can go to ice whenever they want, if they choose to route that in. One of the big changes between Season 5 and Season 6 is that KZ skip, jumping over that big fish that's in your way, not allowed. So you need that letter to go to ice.
KZ. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that Purple read the pedestal because it's good to know whether Jabu was going to be a stone or a medallion. And it looks like from what we read, we saw, I think, was that Forest Shadow DC stone? Which is actually probably the worst selection of stones I think we could get.
Yeah, and I mean, luckily, stones are not necessarily required. We don't know what song is on there yet, but the 3 that you're hard, or the 2 that you're hard required, Nocturne and Lullaby, obviously not on AD with those stones.
Okay, so just Temple of Time hints there. We got Temple of Time, the Cuckoos is Wallet, which we already know about. We had Goron City to Goma, which is spicy. So somewhere in Goron City is going to lead towards that Kokiri sword directly or indirectly. And then we had a couple of ones. We had Central Pillar was something not important, and we had Big Goron was dead, I think. So the main one there was the Goron City to Goma, as we see Ravaged Village was Song of Time.
Yep. Song of Time on Ravaged Village refers to the Nocturne check, so you need the Forest, Fire, and Water medallions to pick up Song of Time.
We picked up some more bomb shoes in the near Market Grotto, also commonly
and the
referred
20
to as
pack.
Boulder of Destiny. Wow, so we're loaded with shoes. So basically, once you get a 20 pack and once you get a 10 pack, you don't think about shoes anymore. You can waste them, you can fire them into the void. There are barely 30 bomb lock checks in the seed, so actually I think there's about 100 that are maybe logically required for explosives, but you're gonna find a hammer at some point. You're gonna find a bomb bag at some point. Like, runners won't be thinking about shoes.
Right. Excuse me. Yeah, the
No
most
worries.
interesting thing about having that many chews is really being able to choose your route differently. Like I said, maybe you do want to go upriver, break into domain, turn in letter in your child segment here.
Yeah, and that opens up Ice Cavern, like you said, so we can't skip over
Mido?
KZ, so you need to do that as we get loads of chests at Midos.
A strength? And a slingshot. Okay, so Goron City, importantly, has our Kokiri sword. It is closed Deku in these settings still. So you do need Kokiri sword and a Kokiri shield to get into it. Slingshot is the other thing that is logically required, but most runners ignore that for Deku Tree completion.
Yeah, and importantly, the hints don't ignore that. So it could have been leading us towards a slingshot, but that seems unlikely now that we've got it's definitely unlikely. We've seen a Sphere Zero slingshot, so it's 100% pointing towards the Kokiri sword and not bait for the slingshot.
Right. And
OOT is the Requiem of Spirit.
Oh, it's definitely AD.
Let's go. So over my time playing Ocarina of Time Randomizer, I would say if you have OOT Requiem, I would say 50% of the time, no, 50% of the time it's hard required, and about 70% of the time it's logically required. So I think we've got a pure 50-50 gambo here on whether this is going to be required or not.
I believe 50 skulls was Greg.
Okay, so we need 50.
So 50 is required. Yeah, okay. For anyone who's unfamiliar with the memes, Greg refers to the single green rupee that's in the item pool, and it is on 50 skulls today.
Yeah,
we're
so
never
50 skulls.
We're never seeing Greg today. So Rafa probably has a little bit of an advantage here if none of the other runners end up going to Kokiri Forest and finding that slingshot, because I don't know how much you really push that Goron City path immediately otherwise, but Rafa knowing that it's the Kokiri sword and it's a dungeon quick, I don't know.
It also depends on what the Saria's check is going to be, because if that's ZL, that gives you another check in Child Dongo's Cavern. But but Rafa, I don't think Rafa's been to the Temple of Time yet, so he doesn't know that Goron City is path to Queen Goma.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Oh, Poe's dead.
But if he picks up ZL, he may just decide to go to Goron City anyway. With all these shoots, he may just decide to hit up the big Goron, Hot Rod of Goron anyway. Just to, it depends how safe you're trying to be. Like, a lot of people do skip Child Goron City early.
Yeah,
and when you,
I just think you're in Qual 16, right? And it has screwed over runners a few times in these quals. And you just picked up another 10 pack of chews.
Wow, what?
I think someone in chat said it best. This seed brought to you by Michael Bay.
You're gonna have to explain that to me.
Michael Bay, the director who likes the explosions. So, yeah.
Okay.
What?
That's fine. Okay, cool. We'll move on. You talk about films. I'll talk about Ocarina of Time Randomizer. Because I know nothing about films. I know jack all.
Alright, so Emo at Temple of Time, checking those hints, waffling a little. Okay, safe quitting, probably. What?
I would just say Emo kind of like, I don't know, just kind of was maybe in two minds, I don't really know.
Yeah. I think probably trying to decide if you push these Night Skulls here.
I think you definitely push skulls if you know that Kak is Way of the Heroes. Otherwise, a lot of people may not do. We've just got two songs there, so let's just dissect this. Adult SFM just got Saria's, which is Minuet Lot, so let's keep that in the back of our minds. And Child SFM just picked up Nocturne, which is... And
oh no, Rafa.
Fire Scrubs.
Well, Minuet was just in the windmill, Chuckles.
Minuet was just in the windmill. Okay, so that Minuet is Way of the Hero to get to the Forest Temple. If we need to get to the Forest
Temple. If it's needed.
Yes. But that might help us with the Requiem Way of the Hero.
Yeah, while Chuckles is saying that, Forest is a stone, we will not see any path hints to Phantom Ganon. But...
No, but we might see... Sorry, what I was trying to get is that we might see that being path to Requiem. We might see that path to Spirit Temple.
We might see Kakariko is path to Twinrova for
Minuet
for Forest access.
But again, that's only if it's logically required versus whether it's hard required because of Spirit Key logic, which we'll get to at some point.
Rafa picking up a hook shot there on the near bridge scrub.
That's huge for his adult section. That's going to be actually really, really big.
40's dead.
Wasteland's dead. These are hints that Rafa is going to have missed, by the way, these top of SFM hints.
Oh, not that one.
Got that one.
Just picked that I feel like the seed is listening to everything we're saying and going, "Oh, really?
What? Actually.
Well then." Yeah, Spirit Key Logic TM probably going to play a huge role in this seed. Sometimes it's very kind and you just know. You go in there with your strength 2 and you find out, oh, there's no keys in these first 2 checks.
Yeah.
I guess I have to go do all of Forest and Shadow.
Other times you have to wait until you got the Ocarina of Time to to decide whether that's required or not.
But yeah, the other option could be, you know what, maybe Lens of Truth is just hanging out in Spirit Temple, and we don't actually need that.
And actually, the crossing the wasteland logic has been integral to 2 seeds recently. There's a big chest here, which is a emotional support fish.
Bottle,
Nice.
okay. Alright, Rapid's
so
picking up that Goron City hint.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's interesting. So they got Nocturne, so it wasn't important for that Goron City other than skipping the big Goron stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, a quick save quit and you're right at the bottom of Trail. Doesn't take a lot to get up there, which is what we're seeing Emo do. They save quit, ran up Trail, picked up a bottle, and it's not in the maze here, and Queen Zora is dead.
So another shot at Hot Rodder, otherwise it's not in this available section that we have as child.
Yep. In which case, that minuet becomes even more important, because if it is on Darunia, Saria's is locked behind that minuet.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing as well. That could be path to Deku now, so potentially, if it is behind that Darunia. Wow, meld together. We're thinking of some great logic. Maybe we should co-op with each other.
Oh, should we? You want to win? You don't want to lose to me again?
Oh no, I forgot that this might come up as a thing that I lost to you today.
And $200 on Richard the dog. Richard's mom
reward.
paying out.
That is some doggy reward today. Sometimes you see big deviations in routing, which we're seeing today, and it gets crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, we're seeing big deviations of routing, and what have we picked up other than the light arrows? Not a lot. And shoes. A bunch of shoes.
Shots?
A hook shot. Yeah, a singular hook shot. Is the only real big key item we've seen thus far.
Another $200.
Wow. Was that in the Cac Redead Grotto?
Yes.
That's vanilla.
Is it really? Is that what's in there in vanilla?
Yeah.
Interesting. The hook was on the near Bridge Scrub in Lost Woods, which Lost Woods is path to Twinrova. If that hook shot is path, you do need one, both logically and in this rule set, you need one to get into the boss room. But Spirit Key Logic TM can also require both hook shots, because if there is a small key on the hand where you usually get silver gauntlets, it's long shot locked. Because thanks, game.
Where do we see Longshot? Where do we see Lost Woods was path to Twinrova?
I don't know. Chat said it.
Nice. Okay, that's really interesting. Because you're right, that could be Longshot logic, or that could just be hook logic with water being a medallion as well. That could be really important information.
Yep.
Because if it is hook logic, then you're finding your long shot there. But if there's a small key on the right hand of the Spirit Temple, then it's just going to be, here's one of the 2 logic shots that you need to. Here are one of the 2 hook shots you're going to need to beat this game, logically.
Yep.
Hammer on School Kid.
Oh. Alright, so Minuet. Very required for Saria's already.
So that's the logic already there. So that could be path to Fire Temple now. So we're getting multiple ways this this minuet could be path to one of our dungeons.
Yeah, minuet's path to everything right now.
Amazing.
Yes. Skull Kid is a sometimes hint. Skull Mask is an always hint. And an important thing to talk about. Oh, a Goron tunic. Nice. The way these path hints work, if something ends up on an always hint, it can't be path. Even if it's on a sometimes hint, it can't be the path. Oh.
Emo is doing some funky stuff here to try and keep the chicken and read the hint at the same time.
Yeah.
And they're going to achieve it as well.
Yeah.
So that is
Emo wants to
skilled.
turn in that letter. This is what I was talking about. Turning in that letter early, having... I mean, Emo has 2 bottles at this point, but having an available, like, ice cavern play once we find Lullaby or Hovers.
Mm-hmm.
And even just being able to go into Jabu, honestly.
Dude,
Emo doesn't have that slingshot, so there's no chance to peek it, but... London Ranch Baronade.
I wonder if it's for the Ruto's letter.
It might be for the Ruto's letter.
Yeah, I think so.
There might be something else there, though.
Yeah, let's check the night school, see what's on there. Oh no, it's not.
Valerian Ice Cavern, okay. So, okay. In the off season, it was kind of funny because I did a tier list at one point of all of the sometimes hints. And I was like, I need a trash tier of just all of the song sometimes hints. And then League ended up removing those. And I think it was really popular. So we saw, you know, that kind of integrated into S6 here. They kept Nocturne as an always hint and the Ice Song as a sometimes hint. So we just saw Bolero is there, which is nice because it gives us better ideas of where can songs be.
Yeah, and you normally have 3 late songs, and it's Nocturne, Ice, and Ocarina of Time. They're kind of the 3 songs that get left. And having knowledge of what that Ice song is, I was going to say, Rafa, you didn't do the flame storage, dude. Sorry, mate.
It's Emo.
But
Raph was in Valley.
Oh yeah, Emo, dude, you didn't get the flame storage. I was watching them do it, and I was like, there's no way that flame storage is working in that position.
Wonder if Emo accidentally reads one of the worst signs in the game here. Oh?
I don't know where
Emo's
going. That was some... I wanted that to work out, because that looks awesome, whatever they were doing.
Is it Valley to Volve or Graveyard? Okay, Graveyard to Volve.
Graveyard. We've not seen anything in Graveyard, right?
No. We have not.
Ah, this is what Emo's doing. Nice. Yeah,
Saria's was where you would normally pick up Minuet.
Oh, Milkweed. Are we going to have a seed with Emo Soda on Restream and the Sun Song Grave is required?
I mean, we can only hope.
And Emo needs Sun Song.
Ooh. Horse in the crater. That horse is on fire.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Lullaby could very well be in Colossus, which...
Yeah.
I mean... that tells us a lot. Because you're gonna have to cross and might still need to do AD.
Yeah!
So everything we've been talking about, where like, maybe there are hints where it's not... You will not know if Lullaby is out there, you have to cross, and you will not know. Sacred Forest Meadow to Morpha.
Well, we weren't expecting that. SFM to Morpha. We were expecting SFM to Deku, SFM to Fire, SFM to Spirit. We didn't say SFM to Morpha. But we did pick up what we picked up Nocturne
Yeah.
there, so
So that Saria's could end up being very interesting. There's our Kokiri sword locked behind that hammer. So
wow.
that hammer being behind Saria's could mean that our other hookshot or our irons are just in Deku.
Yeah, there's a
Or
couple of ways we can get that
gets
in
even
and out
more
of
fun.
logic as well. Yeah.
Because if we find Lens behind Saria's somehow, it's probably just for ZL out at Colossus. Because there's only 2 checks in water that you can do without it.
Yeah.
Basically, the seed is logical trash, and it's amazing for us, and the runners are going to be just scratching their heads.
Oh, you say us. I'm scratching my head 100%. I'm here for I'm here for a good time, not a logical time.
We get 4 different views of what the seed is. We get to piece everything together way before they will.
Yes. I just think it's really interesting, just the different ways that everybody has gone. So Rafa has done like this really elongated child section, and it has just gone adult. Purple did this like quick adult transformation, and then has now gone back to child, and had that Saria song and got the hammer, which honestly, a lot of people are going to be missing that for a long time. That Saria's kid check is school kid is a very, very orphanable check, especially if you've done Child 1 Lost Woods already.
Right, and like having Prelude makes everything so interesting because you can see Purple make the decision to, I've picked up Saria's, I'm going child, I've picked up Hammer, I'm going back adult to my path Goron City, picked up my Kokiri sword, and now child again. Which, in this case, it makes sense because Purple did have a very short child one, can kind of do other checks along the way after this.
Yeah, and I quite like Purple's route, really, and go into that early adult section. You get the song from child, you kind of do the quick stuff in adult, and then you make the decision of being like, okay, what can I do next? And head towards that longer kind of child section. But you know, there's so many things that are open with those early bomb chews that a lot of decisions are arguably decent decisions, and I think we're seeing that in the completely 4 different places that our runners are in at the moment.
Emo doing back of lake hints. That was the copy
we've seen these
of
already.
Big Toes. Yep.
So Rafa's done this already, so we've seen these.
Oh. Well then. Ooh. Broach showing off something fancy here. Choose strats to open up Dodongos.
Yeah, I don't know if he's doing a different method to what I've seen before, but normally you kind of just backflip and neutral roll from there and you can do that, but this is an interesting lineup for it. Do not climb the ladder after you do this because you will soft lock yourself, so no ladder climbing allowed. And we have purple rupees also in Deku Tree, so these are 2 kind of new, this is kind of where our focus is at the moment as we see some new checks.
I watched someone do, I think it was Mr. Martin actually. You just line up with the wall, do a full 90-degree turn, and then let the choose go.
Oh, really? Okay. Let the choose go.
Ooh. Double defense. Nice.
Double defense. Very nice. Colloquially known as tiddies or double Ds. Because it's double defense.
Yes.
Thank you, Frozen Phoenix, for the written out version of that. For clarification.
Yeah, the game, it's one of those weird things where often we'll give this game a lot of grief for being a quote-unquote well-coded game, which is obviously very sarcastic. But the ladder climb soft lock thing is one of those. This is a great game.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and also because you can still like climb the ladder grate, or the fire grate in the fire temple, but you can't climb the ladder, which is like whether you can argue the kind of devs thought that you
Oh,
could
no.
climb.
Okay, so Lullaby out at Colossus just intensified with that magic being in Deku Tree because that
Magic
still
Deku.
follows. Oh. Hey, okay.
Oh. I'm
Less
Utes.
obscure. Iron Boots just being in Deku.
Yeah, okay, so progression dungeon has progression items, which, you know, you'd like to see.
that.
Rafa's got a big chest here, which is he's in cap, sorry.
Emo doing South Field checks, which I like because it's very easy to forget about these, unfortunately, since there's nothing there.
Yeah, and we saw that in a qual recently where there was actually a strength here that if you picked up the strength on the way to GTG, you picked up strength 2 in GTG, and that picked up a few runners.
Yep.
Big chest in DC.
Bombay? Oh,
Imagine.
always the slingshot.
It's a sling bag.
Oh, it's a bag of some kind.
Bro, missing that jump there, falling straight into the fake lava.
Making that joke with someone recently, like, why do you, oh, maybe it was about your RSL seed. Can't you just empty out all of your bomb bags and your slingshot bags and throw some rupees in there?
Yeah, put some rupees in there.
What do you need a wallet for?
Yeah. No.
Alright, so we've got, oh, really prioritizing skulls by the look of it to be coming back here to pick up this skull.
Yeah, this
And
is
purple
a bit
almost
of a
through
lengthy skull.
Deku.
Bit of a lengthy skull to get. He's going to be on 9, so by the time, if he hasn't got the DMT trail one, he'll be on 10. So normally kind of a good idea is to know how many skulls you're going to be coming out of this dungeon. Because you're right by the schoolhouse, so if you can get on bang on 10, then it makes it worthwhile coming to pick up this one. Queen going down.
Let's go, purple. And Rafa has entered Dodongo's cavern as well.
Yeah, Rafa's got the hook. Could be... Oh, eye drops. Not picking them up. I'm assuming Big Goron's dead. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because there's not a lot of places that is progression to do. So you're kind of stuck doing stone things. Like, Rafa could have gone forest, potentially, with that minuet. But it's decided to be in DC, which is quicker and denser, you might say, if you exclude small keys.
I forgot picked up the strength, and I was very excited to watch Chew Strats, but I guess we just hit.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Dodongo's cavern with strength. Alright, fine.
It's almost like it's vanilla.
It's almost like vanilla.
Imagine vanilla strats just being... Well, I say vanilla strats, you're an adult.
You're an adult in a dungeon that you're not intended to be in.
That is the only other issue.
But that is King Dodongo down, so both of our runners on the left have completed a dungeon. Rafa soon to follow, and Emo in Midos. Plugging away.
Yeah, I was going to mention before, that Kokiri sword in the left side of the maze, logically it's hammer or strength 2. But out of logic, it could be the hover boots as well. There's a trick where you get on the crate on the opposite side of the maze and you hover boots and backflip over. Completely glitchless. But that could be another method of getting that Kokiri sword. So there's a couple of ways of runners picking it up. And also, it's peekable as an adult with a charge spin as adult. So lots and lots of different ways of runners being able to get that, so I think that's not going to be difficult for people to come back to, especially with Goron City being way of the hero for Deku Tree.
Yeah, I think it's more... The worst part about it is that the hammer makes it accessible so early, and we saw magic and irons in Deku Tree. So the longer people put off getting that hammer off of Skull Kid, or however long it takes them to find a second strength, that could end up being a major advantage for any runners who did pick up that hammer.
Mm-hmm. And it also really depends on how those early pickups synergize into later pickups as well. So, for example, if you have that early access to the Deku Tree, and therefore have early access into Progression Water, and Progression Water has, I don't know, Din's Fire.
Or the other long shot even.
Nocturne. Yeah, exactly. And that just kind of, that eventually blends into, you know, running through progression dungeons, which is really what you want to be aiming for. But sometimes it just ends up to being, you've got the iron boots and you need to wait until an hour until you've even got a reasonable opportunity to enter the water temple.
And yeah, I believe that hint was still Central Pillar in water is dead, so the iron boots, not a huge issue if they find Gold Scale. But if your long shot happens to be in water, you're in trouble.
Yeah, long shot in water is always one of those tricky ones, because, you know, sometimes you just go and get the BK and like stop when you've got the BK. And then when there's something else in deeper water, it's kind of the same thing with fire. You stop when you get the BK in fire as well, because it's kind of that linear, non-linear kind of dungeon.
Yeah, and that's really interesting. So they removed foolish hints for Season 6. And so choosing to not full clear a dungeon is a very interesting decision, honestly, because you have no information about whether or not there might be something else there.
But sometimes it's so hard, like, you pick up the BK on the compass chest in water, right? Are you going to spend the next 10 minutes for 4 checks? Like, no, water sucks for density. Like, it's all
water is terrible. Fire is terrible. I agree. Yeah. I also would not want to do them. It's just, it's one of those interesting decisions that, like, you have no reason to believe that there's nothing there, except that...
We've not seen it in a qual yet, really, of, like, say, fire being a progression dungeon, and actually something's in deeper fire. I don't think that's happened in a qual. We've had Fire Temple, like Stonefire, having items. Like, maybe it had a magic that some people went instead to go into other places. But I don't think we've seen, like, big item deep in water with early BK or Fire Temple.
So there was a qual last week, actually, where there were 3 strengths. The other strength was not strength 2 locked, and it was on boss key chest in Medallion Water.
Okay.
And it's one of those things where reading what the information you has given you, like, okay, I know that this strength might be path, but why?
Yeah. I think also another argument with people saying, like, I want to know if water and fire is foolish. But if there's something in water or fire, it ain't going to be hinted foolish, so the foolish hints aren't helping you.
Yep.
It kind of is a bit of a moot point in that vein, as Bro actually picks up the hammer here. Second person to pick up the hammer on Restream, that's big.
Yep, and Rafa picking up that bottle. And Emo still in Child 1 here.
I think Emo has been adult. No, they haven't.
Have they?
No, I didn't. Well, they've only got the adult songs marked on their personal trackers, so the child songs marked on their personal tracker. But this seems like it feels like they've been going a lot of places. in this early child segment.
Okay. Well, playing Prelude now. There was a moment, Emo was at Temple of Time, and I thought maybe they were going adult then, but didn't. The horse is in
true.
Crater.
Yeah. Horse is on fire.
Yeah, on the Bolero check. And
Rafa getting
yeeted by Link the Goron.
But I don't know if you ever remember, there's a clip on CSG, someone can maybe link it, maybe Tobias, but there's a clip on CSG of, I think it was like Def King or somebody doing that. They get yeeted, the bomb shoe goes under Link the Goron, Def King or whoever it is starts walking round to the other side, and then you just hear, it's like the shoe somehow comes back down and hits Link the Goron. It's an amazing clip, if somebody can find it on CSG. It is so good.
See, Begiano gets it, Chuckles.
Yeah, like, Kings of Leon are great. Or Kasabian. I forget which one it is. I think it's Kings of Leon. Yes, it is Kings of Leon.
Oh, we need Lens, another hookshot, or hovers. And that's it for crossing.
Yeah. We're going to get to this pinch point in a seed, and I actually think, just based on how the items and how everything has gone about, all the runners are kind of going to come to this point together, maybe in about, I don't know, like 55, an hour 5 in, of being like, the next move is to cross the desert, right? Logically or illogically, that is the next move, because I'm kind of really narrowed in on the options that I've got. That was
Half a heart Dante race.
Yeah. Dangerous place because you could have voided out as well.
Yeah.
Which would have been a death. Yeah, so I think soon, maybe a little bit longer, maybe at the hour point, that I think we're going to see a lot of people. I've got a horse, right? I can jump on the horse. Horse jumps. I can cross the gap. Let's see what's at the Colossus. See if it's going to be this Zelda's, which really is kind of limiting a lot of what we can do at the moment.
Yeah, like, the fact that we don't have a bow or a bomb bag between these 4 runners yet, like, GTG is calling. Or maybe early forest. Honestly, maybe dipping into forest, seeing what you can find in those first couple checks.
Part of me is surprised that runners haven't dipped into Stone Forest. It is considered, you know, one of those deviant plays. It's not even aggressive or safe, it's just different. Right? I don't know whether going into Stone Forest is aggressive or safe. I don't think it's either. I think it's, I'm going to do something a little bit different to what everybody else is and do this dungeon that kind of everybody hates, to do something strange. And none of the runners have done that, even with an early hookshot and no other items. Do we have Song of Time?
No.
No?
It's on Burning Cack.
That limits your forest plays as well, because if you don't find a key in the first 2, as I say, nobody is dipping Stone Forest. Again, somebody has decided to do me wrong and go into Stone Forest.
Yeah, Emo might do the same thing here, having just picked up Minuet, honestly.
Yeah.
Prelude, but I believe Spirit is our forest medallion, so unlikely to be there.
We did have a seed this qual where we had ZL list and Requiem list Spirit Temple logical completion, which is actually mind-boggling when you think about that.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of chests out of play.
Like, logically, that's what, 6 chests that can't have keys?
Yeah, 6.
And there's 5 of them.
I think 30 is also dead, Tobias. I think 30, 40, and 50 are dead.
Yeah. I concur. What we got, Rafa?
Nothing.
Oh, dead! Oh, Forest Temple is dead without Song of Time or Bow. Well, I think Siberian has said this as well, that they were tracking what the combined runners have done and not done. And we're running low on the source. We're going to be crossing soon to hit that
Yeah.
GTG.
Rafa might be doing that already.
He seems to be on the path towards there. There's not really any reason why
Yeah.
you wouldn't do this and you do field at the same time.
Yeah.
He's calling the horse, so
Yeah, you can't call the horse while you're on the bridge because it's really annoying to maneuver Epona off.
Opponent also hates this hill coming up. So eyes on Rafa to see if he gets done in by the hill. Ah!
Oh.
Did the hill correctly. Well done, Rafa.
So there are 2 checks in fire potentially. 1 for sure. Possibly 2. I would not be surprised if purple ended up dipping fire, having hammer.
Oh, that's very true. It gives it a lot more options for access.
Yeah.
And things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so purple and Broat could be in a much better situation depending on where that hammer actually leads them in that case.
It's going to be really interesting paying attention to GTG logic because we don't have a bomb bag, we don't have a bow. So identifying, we don't have Song of Time. So actually, these keys, like, it's one of these things where, like, what have I got left? GTG.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
have, like,
what can you do in GTG?
You can do Stalfos. You can do Beamos. It's not in logic. You can get into the Wolfos room.
Yeah. You can head into the other room where the fire ring is.
Which they don't know is in logic yet, but we do. We've got that hammer. Oh wait, do you still need a bow for that though?
No, you don't. No, the door is open, and one of the checks in there is not hammerlocked. So one of the checks is hammerlocked.
Yeah, and 1 isn't.
Subto's saying here, was there something on the hammer rock? You know what? I don't even think Rafa went over to the hammer rocks to even check to see if there was something there.
No.
Because I was watching the screen and I didn't notice that. Oh, Valley hammer rocks is hinted dead. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Chat.
Thanks, chat.
Chat always helping us out, babes.
Yep. Chat's the best. They can be our... Oh no, Rafa.
Trying to... Like, the thing is, Rafa's doing new stuff and all eyes are on Rafa. So every small thing is kind of going to be picked up.
Yeah. So Bro just picked up that Goron tunic, so I am guessing that will lead him into fire.
Do they have Bolero? No, Bolero's in ice, isn't it?
Bolero's in ice, yeah.
Difficult to get there.
But yeah, I mean, he hasn't routed that in yet, though. So, like, Goron City, you're going there anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Purple also dipping into Stone Forest. Gonna find out pretty quick that you're just here for a couple skulls. For now.
Can I just point out, Pepperoni? Rule 1 of chat, you can always trust chat. Rule 2 of chat, you can never trust chat. It is so true. You guys are great, but also meanie at the same time.
More big money in GTG Stalfos.
If Rafa wanted to buy more shoes, then that's really just helped out there. Okay, chat. Let's do this together. Let's keep an eye on GTG keys. Chat also always wins. That's a good point.
That is very true. That's the only, like, true rule of chat, is that chat always wins. Because there are some people in chat who are always right, and you can always trust, and then there are some who maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't trust chat.
If I'm in chat and I say something about logic, I'm probably wrong. So, there was a very logic heavy tournament that was featured on the Silver Gauntlets in the summer, and you don't know how many times I commentated those races and I was just completely wrong. I was just wrong every single time, and it made me feel so dumb. Alfalfa, we can always trust them. I don't know.
I mean, if Alfalfa and Inko are both in chat, for sure you can trust them.
Yeah,
they're fighting each other who can get the answer out first. The XR we can always trust. And
Especially
here is
when
that
songs are
fire
hard.
dip from Broat.
Okay, so keep an eye on Bro. Rafa's also found no keys yet in Stalfos and Wolfos.
Yeah.
And that's also another dead item inside the Ring of Fire, which is Amalot logically. And another dead item. That's 4 dead items. So what? There's 13 items in GTG. And we've already seen 4 of them. There's a key.
There's a key, Song of Time locked.
So freestanding is a small key. So that's our first one.
Yeah.
Chat, there's a prediction up. Sorry.
Let's see. Which runner will finish first on Restream?
Yo.
Okay.
I've got some very good friends on this restream. Multiple good friends on this restream. There is no way I can comment on who I think is going to win.
I can't bet on this.
No.
But if I could, I would bet on the bread.
You're betting on the bread?
I would bet on the bread.
If it was RSL, I'd put my money on Rafa any day of the week. Yo, there's a big chest that's bomb locked.
What is it? Oh, long shot. Okay.
Whoa.
Interesting. Okay. So, where's our bomb bag then?
Yeah, multiple questions thrown up there.
I have so many questions.
That's crossing now logical with the bomb bag, which we don't have yet.
Well, we still don't have a lens, but we still don't have a lens or a bomb bag. But
yeah, add that.
The
piece
horse
to the puzzle.
was in crater. That was not hook locked. That's only Epona's and bomb locked.
Absolutely.
Oh, and we missed a boomerang.
Oh, lower fire flare dancer. So that gives purple progression to do.
Yeah, that's going to be nice for Broat too, who I hope picks up the Kokiri sword. Because he'll be able to do both child dungeons in one go.
In one go, and that's really big. I know we've got Prelude, so age changing isn't a big deal. I mean, it adds up. Age changing adds up. That cutscene is slow, but yeah, being able to do Jabu and Deku in one go, you're gonna feel good about that.
Yep.
Rapper bought shoes, amazing, nice. This kind of is now making a bit of sense. So that hammer is logical with Minuet to get Saria's song, to get the school kid. And then that Kokiri sword's in logic. So if there's a bomb bag in Jabu, like,
we don't have a scale yet. Oh, so this is like the nightmare scenario that you were describing. Early boss key and fire. Odds are Volvagia is a key. I mean, it is a key. Volvagia is a small key. You can't
at this point, it now has to be, yeah.
Okay, so there is our bomb bag, which is fully in logic between that hammer and those irons.
Yeah, okay.
Which gives us our long shot.
Was that in text like Rosso?
Yep. So, Sacred Forest Meadow path to Morpha is for the whole kit, basically. Because it gives you... one hookshot was available, but it also gives you the Kokiri sword for the irons, and Saria's for the hammer for the Kokiri sword for the irons. And the hammer and irons combined give you your bombs for your long shot.
So the only piece of the puzzle we're missing is that lens to cross the wasteland. If there's ZL in the Colossus to get us that Jabu access.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, Tektite's also one of those really terrible checks. Most people are fortunate enough that they are able to route it in when they're on their way to GTG. But it can be really hard to remember that in the moment.
I think my
Especially when you have
mindset
Serenade.
when I'm playing, it's can I do the Tektite Grotto? If I can do the Tektite Grotto, I will probably go and do it.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
I can't do the Tektite Grotto, and I'm like walking from where Rafa was, like Rafa didn't have the iron boots and have gold scale, couldn't do the Tektite Grotto, so he didn't do didn't do it, didn't check it. I think that's completely reasonable because it's really, it's you can take about 45 seconds doing that for a check that is probably dead, and you're going to just have to come back to later on. So,
Yep.
but then when it's got something big like that in it,
Right.
I think it's more big in logical implications today than it is actually in hard kind of I'm restricted, what can I do kind of stuff.
Right,
But
exactly.
when you do miss it, it can be big. In the same way that School Kid one can be big. So we've actually got a couple of locations as we find
And
ZL in the
there's
Colossus.
Lullaby out in the Colossus, as suspected.
As suspected, yeah, so we still have this overhanging. Is Requiem required? I think that's a blue P.
Only time will tell. But Sacred Forest Meadow is like entirely pathed. Basically, except for the one hook shot. Everything is behind that Saria's.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to pick up on a point Boss has just said. I always check Tektite Grotto because I'm always scared. And I think this really, when we think about kind of attitude toward the game, and kind of we talk about safe versus aggressive runners, and you kind of measure like Cola's attitudes towards it, for example, who's a highly aggressive player versus somebody else who might be very safe. And this is when you get the different play styles that, like, if you feel like that's going to be in the back of your head, you're going to be checking it quite a lot.
Yep.
But
and I mean, usually in a qual like this, a big race, you feel a little better doing those risky plays, right? Because you're like, okay, well, something's gonna work out or not work out. Or is it the opposite way? You play safer in a qual.
You play safer in a qual. You absolutely do. Yeah, and Tobias is right that you take the smaller time chunks so you don't get the big time chunks. It does depend on your attitudes towards the qual. If you're a top tier runner and you want to be kind of in that top like 8, then you're going to be taking the bigger risks to try and win the quals. But if you're little old me here and you want to just try and sneak into the 64, then you take an ultra safe approach so you don't screw up your quals. And that you're comfortably within those nice ranges every single time. Look at my scores that I've scored in my quals. I scored between 940 and 860, and there's a reason for that I'm in that narrow range. It's because of the attitude I take within the quals.
Oh, Rafa selling the fish for some quick cash. And someone in chat, I think it was Siberian, pointed out Fire Temple also has key logic to it. One of those things being that hovers are in fact logically required to complete Fire Temple today. Because you don't have the keys you need without beating Volvagia to climb up and drop that block in the middle like you would in vanilla.
We saw Broke do the jump towards there, which there is a very nice... It's kind of... I hate using the term free because nothing is free in this game, but everything comes at a cost. But there's a nice little simple jump that allows you to do it out of logic. But yeah, that hovers is going to be required today.
All right.
Benji pointing out that could be our path to Graveyard. Interesting.
Okay, Bro Wentback Child does not have Kokiri Sword marked on his personal tracker. Did he just not pick that up? Anyone? Because he's gonna go do Jabu now, but...
I was talking a lot of nonsense for the last 5 minutes. He must have not done that. Which, has he done the right side of the maze? If he's done the right side of the maze, he has done the right side of the maze. I'm almost sure of that. Maybe he didn't feel like it was worth the time to go back to check the left-hand side of the maze. But it's the hero. Like, come on.
He thinks, oh no. He does not think left side of the maze is small. With the gilded texture, there's no way you miss it.
He took a while, and I tell you why I know that he's done the right side of the maze. Because he jumped on the chest and looks at it for a bit. And you cannot see, as a child, on top of that small chest, you cannot see whether that's small or big. Like, don't bother, you can't do it. As an adult, different. Child, you can't see. And I really, really don't hope that Bro has left that.
I mean, at minimum, at least it's hinted way of the hero, so. And a vanilla sun song for Rafa.
Nice. This is going to get us the Sun Song Grave.
That's, yeah. So our path item in Graveyard could very well be Sun Song Grave, like you said earlier.
It could be Sun Song to get Sun Song.
Sun Song to get Sun Song Grave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Could be. Could be.
Or it could be this little trick that Rafa's doing here. You light a torch, use a flame storage, you get a big chest here by doing this, and then you pick up the...
Bottle.
Bottle.
No.
The way of the hero bottle.
That's not a way of the hero bottle.
No, it's not. No.
Especially not now that we know where bombs are.
Well, this is it. This is the last check.
This is it. This is it.
This is... Oh, this is so... I love this. The kid shouts at you because you want to do the Sun Song Grave, but you've got Sun Song, so you're going to just turn it aside.
This has to be our hovers, right?
Do we have a logical bomb bag? Potentially, yes we do. Strength, yeah. Bow, don't need it for logic. So, yeah, this is pretty much gotta be something that leads to hover boots or the hover boots.
And take a bow. Bows are nice.
We didn't need it to beat Barbagia, though.
Yeah, that's why I went to hovers instead. But hovers could easily be bow-locked with what's available. Yeah. But no, it's just the hover boots there.
Oh, sorry, you were saying that taking a bow because the hovers are bow locked, yeah.
Yeah.
I get you. It's just the hovers though.
Yeah, Dompe's like, I do not care what you do, just pay me $10 for me to dig up this mound.
I'll dig up some rubbish from the ground.
Dig up some rubbish for you.
Benji called it. GG's, well done. Appreciate that. Hey, Melqui!
Happy 1 hour!
As Kinra beat me to Let's take a huge thank out to our runners. We've got 4 runners. Maybe if we get a bit of downtime, we'll talk a little bit about their positions later on. But they're all either in top 64 or have a good prediction to be in the top 24. We've got Purple Rupees, we've got Rafa, Broten Dodoza, and Emo Soda. Tracking today, double tracking, doing the double duties, Axel Ryman and One Traveller. So thank you so much for double tracking. So much so, they're doing double tracking. They've been pinged by the RSL bot twice, so I think that's worthwhile. Oh, so have we! Lovely. I am Chuckles501. I am currently a runner and hopefully going to be in the top 24, top 64, we'll see. And I am joined by somebody who beat me today in a race, Melqui. Hi, Melqui.
Hi, Chuckles. Thank you for being on comms, and thanks again to our trackers. Shout outs to them being willing to do that. So if they happen to miss anything, be nice. Just gently remind. Yes, trackers get paid twice as much for double trapping. Trapping? Ooh.
Trapping. Yeah, be nice to our trackers. Benji says who's restreaming. Tobias G _91 is our restreamer today. So thank you so much for Tobias for having us in the first place, because I don't think a lot, especially because Tobias knows us, like maybe
Right, he's
allowing
heard us
to
talk
be
to
here.
each other in the past. Like, ooh.
As Emo is going to be picking up this long shot here.
Ooh, tracking is not a trap, nor is commentating. Come join us. We are going to have so many restreams for the S6 season. One of our wonderful mods could throw in the volunteer command. Unless they've freed that for us to... Thanks, Tobias. There is a link there to join the Discord. You can fill out our application to be a tracker or commentator. We're a lot of fun. Oh, they did that? Yay! I love that.
Yeah, and honestly, like, we're gonna have so many races that are coming up, and if you like these restreams and you want these restreams to continue, then please consider being a part of the team. If you just want to track, if you want to come and pretend that you know stuff like I do, then please do so, because once we enter the brackets, we're gonna need hands on deck to bring you as much Zoota content as possible.
Yeah, chat pointing out, Rafa is trying a strat here where you actually use a bomb chew in the Goron pot. The timing is a little off, so I'm hoping he's not going for the strength strat. Okay, here we go.
This is
terribly hard to do. The timing is really obnoxious. I believe one of our runners in chat has some horror stories about having to do this in Logic back in the day.
Yeah, this was a weird one where this was in Logic for a long time, and was actually in RSL for an even longer time because for some reason it was just one of those things like, oh, it's in standard, so we kept it in RSL, and then people were like, but why is this in RSL?
Oh, I think he might have got it.
I don't think this is it.
Chuckles believe. Be nice.
Yeah, but I know.
Oh, what? Is that big Goron sword?
It's a bow!
It's a bow!
It's a bow! It's a bow!
The tenacity pays out big. We have not seen another bow yet. And purple, I totally missed what's on Bombchu Bowling.
It's an in Logic, out of Logic bow.
Oh,
in Logic for us,
strength
out
2.
of Logic for Rafa.
So this is really important because we were saying, you know, the bomb bag, nice, but not that exciting. But these two checks are hard bomb bag locked. That bomb bag is required for this strength.
And there it is. There's strength 2.
Yep. But the nice thing is, for the people who have not crossed already and have that strength 2, currently purple, when he eventually crosses, he'll be able to tell us if it's AD right away.
And also the second check is a scale, which is the first scale for purple rupees and a first for any of our runners to pick up.
Yep.
So everything's really coming up well for purple rupees and the seed. Getting that hammer early, getting that strength 2 on the first visit, it's going to be huge.
Yep. Yeah, purple's route has worked out really well so far. This is also quicker access to Jabu when he eventually goes, which I would guess would be the next move. Apparently Dins was in Jabu.
Dins in Jabu? Wow. that is the AD story ever continuing.
So Rafa has hammer, I am guessing is going back to Goron City. Emo out here in Spirit Temple picking up Lullaby.
Yeah, Emo's basically following Rafa's shoes at the moment. Rafa took that bit longer in Child, so it's just kind of following what Rafa's doing.
Goron.
I'm really interested in... Bro's in the boring part of Jabu.
Yeah.
Basically. I somehow lost Ruto. I don't know how Bro lost Ruto, but I don't
think Bro Lost Rudo. It's just a routing decision that you can make where you just leave her by the button and do all of the rooms without her.
Oh, okay. Well, she got lost, and she had to go at Link for it, which I think is worthwhile.
Yep. And Blinking
I'm
Rune
really
rating with a party of 5. Welcome in, everyone. This is an Ocarina of Time randomizer race. Any weekly, doubling as the 16th qualifier for the upcoming Season 6 tournament. Let us know if you have any questions.
I think good summary of the seed is that is it AD? Maybe.
Maybe.
Is the bomb bag required? Maybe.
Yes.
Is this required? Is that required? Maybe.
We know for certain that the 2 hook shots, the magic, and the light arrows are required. There might be another magic available, but for now, the hammer's required.
Fix are interested in saying, like, for no mode, needing mirrors. And that's dependent on whether we need Requiem. So...
Yeah, I think purple is going to be the one to show us that after finishing Jabu here. Until we find someone else who ends up picking up that bomb bag and doing bomb shoot bowling.
Yeah, if this ends up being Requiem's not required, logically, and there's a small key on that adult side. Unfortunately, purple doesn't have the mirror shield at the moment, so wouldn't be able to fully complete it, but that information would be really, really big. I mean, the mirror shield could just be in Shadow Temple for all we know.
Yep. Lens cannot be in Spirit Temple, Axel, because getting Requiem is locked behind Crossing because of Lullaby out at Colossus and Shadow being a stone.
Oh, Pepperoni saying that Mirror Shield is in Child Spirit. That would be beautiful. Beautiful. That would be Randobot at Randobot's best.
That would be like peak Randobot. Like,
yes.
You thought it wasn't AD, huh? That's cute.
Oh, baby. Oh, dear. So it's also funny when it's the boss key as well. It's like, I'll give you a small key. I won't give you the B key, though.
I won't give you boss key, though. You're gonna full clear this dungeon and you're gonna like it. Dastar,
wait, people likes me? Jeez. God, that was a bad mistake. What up, Dastar?
We do not know if it is all dungeons or not. We know that Requiem is on Ocarina of Time. That's all we know.
Yeah, we're currently waiting ready for Purple Rupees to finish up Jabu and to head into the desert to see kind of how deep or what deep.
Hey, a Purple Rupee.
We are. A Purple Rupee. Purple Rupee. And even when like Purple Rupees enters that desert area, we're still not really going to know for sure. We're going to know if it's hard locked for key logic, but we're not going to know it for Mirror Shield, like unless it's on a Strength 2 check in GTG.
Yeah.
Purple's still going to be Mirror Shield locked out of Spirit, so if it's not in Spirit Temple, if it's not in GTG Strength 2, then we're still mode for Mirror Shield.
Yep. Alright, Rafa gonna be picking up that boomerang. A reminder that Graveyard was path to Volvagia, that was for those hover boots. So hard AD versus logical AD means hard AD, you are child locked out of Spirit. So in the first 2 accessible checks as an adult, there are no small keys. You cannot progress. So you know you have to go do Child Spirit. Same thing if, say, Mirror Shield or Boss Key were in those 2 child-only checks in Spirit Temple. Logical AD, okay, there's a small key in one of those 2 checks as child, but one was accessible as adult, and we don't care. We're not doing all of DC Forest and Shadow for that.
Yeah. Since if it's hard AD, because of the rule sets that we follow, you have to do all dungeons to get to the end goal. If it's logical AD, the seed expects you via the playthrough to collect the stuff, because that way you won't break the game in terms of being locked out of being completing it. But it does mean that we can be smart with our key usage and we can complete the game. So hard AD means you need to 100%, there's no way you can avoid it. Logical AD is if you're dumb, which these runners are not. These runners are very, very intelligent. They've been doing this for a long time. They will be able to beat the seed without it. But the seed expects them to do it.
Yep. And Broat is going to be peeking Texite Grotto here. Won't be able to get the bomb bag, but knows that it's there. And we do have a poll going. Is it hard AD, logical AD, or not AD?
Emotes are nice. By the way, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
I assumed emo was going ice, but was not paying attention.
Emotes are nice. What did Broat do? Did Broat not collect that bomb bag?
Broat doesn't have the iron boots from Deku because he didn't get the Kokiri sword in Goron City Maze. I don't think Broat misidentified Tectite Grotto. He physically cannot get it. He physically
cannot. Mel is in front of everybody, and Mel has correctly identified that he physically cannot pick up those items without Navi diving. So
in this rule set is always the asterisk.
yeah. Without cheating in front of
without getting DQ'd for it. Yeah, so the irons are in Deku Tree. So if Broat did in fact misidentify that left side of Goron City, that is terrible for him because honestly it's kind of all gonna chain together. None of this is saying that like Broat could very well still win Restream, for example. Same as Purple could still win Restream. We're just seeing kind of polar opposites here as far as one quick decision might kind of snowball into a really bad time in the seed.
Man, we just had a big chest in the Ice Temple. Do you want to know what it was?
Stone of Agony.
Oh, okay. You watched.
I saw. Which is hilarious because Emo has been playing as the Stone of Agony as their custom model.
They have been. No.
But opted to play as Link today. Block push? Oh.
Push the block!
Push the block.
A little less funny of a meme since I learned how to do the ice jumps after I was very adamant that I was never going to learn how to do them.
Emo's doing it.
He is! They are!
They are!
Push the block! Oh, you can jump that without going onto that pillar. Broat's dead.
GG's Broat. I mean, it was intended. It was a death warp.
Hold on, wait. What if Zuta, but when you die, that's it. It's like Iron Mon, right? Or like some form of permadeath. You die and your run is over.
Well, I still would have beat you today, so, because I didn't die at all.
Did you not? I 100% died.
I didn't, so.
I 100% died.
I technically died, but I didn't game over because I grabbed a fairy anticipating dying.
Yeah, dang that fire trial.
Yeah, fire trial is the worst. Anyway, so Rafa is gonna go do Deku and probably Jabu after that, so this will be a nice, good child segment for him. Brot is going into GTG, or maybe just picking up the card and crossing. We'll see. The big thing currently is we have only seen one bow, and it is in Goron City Pot.
Yeah, and Purple, we talk about Purple having the strength 2 going into GTG, but one of the big items that I know a lot of people that are like, I'm not going to go to GTG until I have a bow, right? That's the item I'm going to wait for until I go to GTG, and Purple doesn't have that bow. Has the strength 2 though, so he's only going to be missing out on the 3 checks that are bow locked. There's one that's also bow locked, but it's peakable, so which is I don't think we've seen because we didn't have enough keys. So
no, we saw exactly one key, I think.
Yeah, we saw one key, which was the freestanding key, and we couldn't.
Yeah, and it was Song of Time Locked. All right, there's a long shot for Bro. Purple about to finish Baronade. What was?
We're on Radio ZSR at the moment, by the way, so we are chatting chat.
Radio ZSR.
See, like the radios in America are completely different to the radios in England. So, like,
oh well then.
Purple is doing clean Baronade.
Yeah.
Whilst Brot is in the hookshot side of GTG. Rafa is in Deku Tree, and Emo is in the Forest Temple.
Yeah, Emo's in the Forest Temple, doesn't have Bow or Song of Time, so gonna end here on this second check. If our trackers could please click something, just toggle it on and off so those reset. And chat has spoken, of course, voting in the poll for Hard AD.
Hard AD, 50% said
I'm choosing to take that as a compliment to us, because they just want to listen to us for an extra half hour through Forest Shadow.
Evening. Oh, yes. Yes.
So thank you. Thank you, chat, for that.
We
love being here with you.
Amazing. Also, it just means that maybe chat are sadists and actually just want runners to go through pain and suffering. I know which one I'm more likely to believe. The latter.
Well, KLO, it might be AD.
Yeah. The word of the seed is maybe. Okay? Maybe is the word of the seed, KLO. Maybe we need AD. Maybe the bow is the only bow in the Goron pot. Maybe strength 2 is the only strength 2 we can get. Maybe. Maybe we'll get through this without me drinking 2 bottles of wine. I don't know. There's a lot of maybes.
Definitely not on that last one. Purple making a very aggressive play here and going into Shadow Temple. I was not expecting that.
It can only do 2 checks here, which kind of makes it... I wouldn't say... It makes it... It doesn't harm you as much because you're not going to be spending 20 minutes in here. You're only going to be spending 2.5 minutes in here.
Yep. And Emo is going into Fire.
I was going to say, Rafa doing this nice little trick where you can climb these vines and then actually drop down and climb back onto the edge, which is really cool.
Yeah.
The small kind of things. When you kind of look at like why the top runners are really as good as what they are, and it's these kind of things. It's the 5 seconds they save everywhere on everybody else is why they're so good.
Yep. Yeah. So Emo is in Fire, does not have that hammer. It was on Skull Kid. Emo did pick up Zaria's, didn't do that check. Yeah, I don't, I would say the most unfortunate thing for Rafa in this instance is that he already went to GTG. So
Yeah, Emo's at the issue of this really long child section where they basically did the entirety of child without Saria's song because it was an adult, and has now basically left that hammer on School Kid.
right.
Okay,
And
there's
it
a
locks
question.
everything.
Yeah, there's a point that you can say, well, Lost was its way of the hero, but it's already been potentially resolved with the hook shot. So in your head, you're kind of like, there's no reason to go back there if that's resolved. And like you said, Rafa is missing the strength in GTG, so that's their issue. That's also going to be Brote's issue as well. They've already done Jabu, but they've already gone past GTG. So we're currently waiting on Purple to head into GTG to really find out what our seed's going to do for us.
Yeah. And yeah, now knowing that all of Forest is accessible, honestly, I would guess that's where our lens is. I would agree with chat on that.
I mean, not many places left. Like, Overworld is basically cleared, so... Where is the Song of Storms?
Prelude?
On Prelude? Is that the only song left? And Prelude is... Spirit?
Yes, the bombs are in Tektite Grotto, behind the hammer and the iron boots that are behind the Kokiri sword, which is behind hammer. Nope. Rafa does not have bombs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Rafa's not got bombs in his personal tracker.
Oh. It's possible that when reactivating the trackers, that is just the button that the trackers happen to push. But no, Rafa only has 2 chews to his name.
Yeah, and Rafa bought shoes as well.
Yeah.
So Rafa has really gone through. When I was like, 30 shoes is enough shoes. And Rafa's gone through about 45 shoes.
Thanks, Axel. We appreciate you.
As always, trackers are double tracking, and looking at 2 people at once is almost impossible. So please be kind to our trackers. They are doing an amazing job to give you 4 runners today, and without them, you'd only be shown 2.
All right.
I think whilst we're waiting a little bit for purple rupees, it might be a good kind of situation to kind of discuss about what we're doing at the moment. So we are in the S6 tournament. There are 19 qualifiers where runners get points for competing in these 19 races, but only the first 8 matter. So you pick up points based on your positioning towards the average time of the top 7 off your first 8 races. We've got 4 runners here who are pretty much in the latter side of their qualification remit, and they've all got opportunities to get into the top 64. Some of them are already sitting in there. So Rafa is currently on 6 qualifiers. This is their 7th. And they're looking pretty good to be nicely into the top 64. They're currently 50th with 2 quals to go. So they're looking pretty good. And then also Brote is looking really good. Brote is, this is their 6th qual, and currently in 59th position. So Brote is looking very good. Compared to Purple and Emo, they're currently sitting outside of the top 64, but have opportunities to get into the top 64. So Emo currently sitting in 165th. This is their 6th qual, and they have a couple of low scores to get rid of. And Purple Rupees, likewise, needs to top some of their top scores that they've got. They're in 151st place. And this is only their 5th qualifier, so that's kind of where everybody is at the moment. Why are you all laughing at me in chat? What is going on now? What are you forgiving the Brit for?
You said S6 and it sounded like Essex.
Alright. Okay.
Emo did pick up that hammer now and has choose equipped. I am guessing we'll be getting a bow here. Yes, Emo did actually pick up the hammer. So Broat's kind of in the toughest position here because we already know that he has bypassed the Kokiri sword. But yeah, so importantly, you mentioned this is actually Purple's 5th qualifier. You are required to do 5 to qualify for the tournament anyway, so this is extra important, not only to get rid of some of the, you know, lower scores, but also just you need to do 5. You can do up to 8, so if anyone is unfamiliar, your first 8 qualifiers that you play in count. Your best score is dropped, and then your 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th are the scores that actually get compiled for your placement. Your lowest 3 are dropped.
I just want to say, Emo doing the strength strat there first try. There is a bit of a, I wouldn't say setup to do it, but it's easy if you get there quickly and do it first try. It becomes a lot easier, and Emo getting there and doing that that's not easy. That's actually really difficult. So well done for Emo for doing that.
Well, you mentioned that being in Logic stuck around in RSL, and Emo is a very strong RSL competitor. And yep, Purple gonna be picking up, or did pick up Longshot by the looks of it. Rafa's going into Jabu, gonna find that Dins. And Broat back in Lost Woods. I think he's going to be struggling until he double checks that maze, honestly. All dungeons does not include GTG. When we say all dungeons, we only refer to the stones, which otherwise are not required to complete the seed, unless the song is required.
Yeah, there's also other terminology, which is if you go to all the dungeons and side dungeons, you would say World Tour.
World Tour.
But that's another massively kind of more colloquial one. You mentioned Purple Rupees, so they don't have they have strength 2 and they went right side first, was interesting. Normally if you have only 1 strength or 0 strength, you would go right first. But if you have strength 2, you normally go left first. So just an interesting point.
Yeah, might have just wanted a quicker peek at that freestanding item.
Purple doesn't have a bow.
No.
So we won't know where all of our keys are here, but we're going to have a much better picture. I don't even know whether any of our runners went into the actual maze to like check.
I don't think so.
Like,
which is surprising, because with 1 key, Emo did get a bow, yes. And Broat is going to show us another attempt at the choose strat here. Hovers for Emo.
Broat's not in the right position for this.
Broat's not happy about this setup currently.
No, I don't think that's going to do it. Unless there's a different step I don't know about.
Okay.
Looking at a chew count
No.
here.
I was gonna say, this pause kind of makes me think Broat might be looking up a video.
A strat for it.
Yeah. Which is allowed. Just to be clear,
yeah.
You are allowed to look up videos of a strat that you know exists.
Yeah. In essence, you line up against the wall, backflip, and then you do a wonky kind of roll. So here's the backflip, wonky roll, Z target, and then you shield, go, or just ESS turn 90 degrees. You walk, you pull out a shoe, you wait for 3 flashes, you drop it, and then that's it. He's got it. There is a big chest in the back of the strength 2 block.
Ooh, exciting. Brot was doing 2 backflips on those first couple attempts, so that would explain the... Ooh, Zora tunic. We don't need that. And there is a bow for Brot, which is fortunate and unfortunate, because A, it's nice to pick up that bow. 3 of our runners have that now. The unfortunate thing is that it will send Brot places that are not Goron City Maze.
Yeah.
Because it opens up a lot.
And we don't have Bolero, so getting back to Goron City kind of sucks, so...
Yes, exactly.
Right, my baby.
We might not need the blue tunic, but we might like the color better. You'll see all of our runners...
pea green! Pea green's cool.
I mean, it's fine.
It's fine?
It's fine.
I think it's awesome.
Lime green is not... Yeah, see, this is the danger. This is fine if something... I mean, we're kind of expecting to find our lens of truth in here. Or maybe something else. Not sure what. Maybe Mirror Shield ends up in Forest. But having that bow just makes going through Forest that much more appealing.
Okay, left 1 has a key. That's 3 key logs. There's a big chest in
big
left
chest.
3.
Up behind 5 keys, though.
Yeah, that's 5 keys.
And there is one here. Oh, I thought I saw one.
You're gonna run out.
Yeah.
You're dead. There's one in left 4 as well. So our 5 keys at the moment are freestanding. There are 2 in the strength 2 block, and there's 1 in left 1 which is 3 keys, and 1 in left 4 which is 6. Ooh, that doesn't sound right.
Which tells us a little bit about what that item can be and whether or not we might need it.
Yeah, that's probably kind of makes it a duplicate. I don't know what's... So now purple's going right side. So what we got right side? We've got a big chest and a small key. So we've got right 3. That's just magic.
Oh, double magic.
It's 9.
Oof.
So... Okay, so right 3 is 9 key locked or Song of Time locked. We don't have Song of Time yet.
Yeah,
so
and that's kind of...
Go on.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say something stupid.
Oh. Like, we know, for example, our Mirror Shield can't be in there now, just because of the way GTG keys work and how Song of Time is locked behind Spirit. Bottom of the Well, similarly, probably very dead.
Yeah.
And all this to say... The options that we have are pretty limited. So, frankly, finding something in Forest here is more likely now. We just hope that it's not in, like, Deep Fire.
Yeah, Brot has everything to complete this. So, this could be a really kind of... You're almost putting your qualifier on the line.
Hey! Yeah. Let's go, Kinra. We are now in logic for crossing.
Nice. Okay.
And everything that is followed. Lens on 1500 horseback archery.
Yeah, Brot's in Forest, and if you decide to go deep in Forest, then you're putting your race on the line. Like, if Forest is not required, then you can kind of call curtains on this, because that's 12 minutes you're not getting back. That's 13 minutes you're not getting back, and that's going to put you middle of the pack. For Brot, that's actually fine because Brot's got 2 great scores. But you're going to be really lagging for that.
Yeah. I don't quite remember if Purple made top 64 last season, to be honest. I know Broat did. Rafa and Emo were not in top 64.
I'm gonna 100%. I'm gonna 98% say they are what they were in the top 64 last time, and I will.
That's kind of what I
double-check.
thought, but I couldn't remember for sure. So. Oh, we've got so many ideas about where Mirror Shield can be.
Amazing.
I suppose that's all we're missing, right? Am I?
As long as AD's not required, which we're still unbeknownst to us yet.
What would we be missing for AD?
Spirit Logic?
What? We have everything. Yeah, we have everything. Yeah. So I mean, we could get a bet going for where Mirror Shield is.
We have the hover boots.
We have hovers. They were in Sunstone Grave.
But we don't know if we're locked out of the Spirit Temple yet.
What's it matter? We have all the items.
But if there's no small key on adult spirit.
But we have all of the items for AD. All we're missing. Yeah.
Where are the hover boots? Oh yeah, there we go. We've had the hover boots for ages. Yeah, okay. Alright.
So if Tobias is awake, he can
where are the hover boots? Oh yeah, we got them ages ago. Yeah. I was busy looking for it, and Purple came 45th in the quals last night. So that's what I was doing.
Oh, chuckles.
Purple came 45th. Rafa and Emo were in the in Challenge Cup last time. Yeah. And Challenge Cup is the runners who come 65th to 128th are featured in the mid-tier tournament.
I am not bullying you, Tobias.
What? No way! No, we're not bullying you. What? No, we love you.
Purple was a strong contender at Speed Gaming Live. Oh.
Bro came 58th in the season last time. You were owing.
Oh.
What? You went oh. I thought you were owing at some point.
Ben. Okay, watch Purple. We're gonna find out now. Is it, in fact, hard AD?
Here we go. Purple lost in the semi-finals of SGL versus Mr. Martin. They beat Zephyr in the first round.
Yes, I got to do comms for that match.
Ah, cool.
Good match. Ooh. No. Oh no.
No.
Yeah, Hila. We're like, Hila, join us before you have to leave. And Hila's like, get wrecked. We're like,
was it a long one?
Yeah. It was AD. It was AD as far as SGL was concerned.
Yeah.
You did not do comms for the Purple Zephyr match. Oh, it's a hard AD.
Hard AD.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's great for Broat in this case, who is in Stone Forest, kind of, you know, searching for what he's missed. Emo also in Stone Forest. Alright, I am guessing Purple is reversing because he doesn't have those hovers yet. Unfortunately for him, they are back in the graveyard. Hopefully he pieces those paths together pretty quick while crossing. We'll be able to show us a couple extra checks on the way.
Oh, do we know where the mirror shield is?
Yeah. We're trying to bet where the mirror shield is, and it's definitely in Forest or Shadow. Oh. Tragically, it's not going to be a world tour today.
You were trying to convince me that we knew where all the items were.
That...
And I was trying to be confused about the hover boots, which was the wrong item to be confused about.
Chat. Chat, be with me on this, that I was trying to call for a bet about where Mirror Shield could be because we knew where all the other items were.
Right.
Can you...
You know what?
Can you confirm that for me, chat?
Right, I am 100% on board with everything that's going on. Absolutely on board.
Chuckles is trying to gaslight me, Dastar. Excuse me?
And VXI was right. Wanted to put a bet that half an hour ago. Okay. I'm on board with everything. It's just funny that I was confused about the wrong... I wasn't paying attention because I was looking at the spreadsheet of where the positions were, and I just got confused with the wrong item. That's all that happened. All that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And now we get to wonder for at least another 30 minutes potentially where this mirror shield is.
Yes, we believe Emo Soda changed... May have either done the random link voice or straight up changed the voice pack. Oh, there's mirror shield in water!
We found the mirror shield!
Never mind, no bets. Get wrecked, everyone.
There we go. The seed has corrected me once again. Like, I said we could be 30 minutes to find the mirror shield, and then we just find the mirror shield in the water temple. What's that? Just in progression.
Remember when you said there's nothing in water? You said deep water. I'll love that. But all right.
Yeah, but we just found it. This is
not much to do, but sit back and watch all of the runners do Stone Forest and Stone Shadow that won't have anything in them.
No. No. Oh. Chat, you've got to let's entertain ourselves. Rafa doesn't have Song of Time, so yeah.
Hila's right. This could actually get even worse because if you have to do... No, Boss Key can't be behind Song of Time because Song of Time is locked by water.
Because it's on Burning K.
Yep. I still think it's a little too early to know who's gonna win on Restream. Purple has a significant advantage being the first one to know that it is hard AD. But honestly, you know, our runners on the bottom, Brot and Emo, are kind of running out of options other than doing their stone dungeons anyway. Rafa's probably in the most unfortunate position because progression and ability to do things wise, he's right behind Purple, but crossed at a time where it still doesn't give the advantage of that information. And so going back into Forest or Shadow feels bad. And you're more likely to go back and full clear GTG.
Yeah, I think you have to give the advantage to Purple, even if it's only for the fact that they're going to only need to cross the wasteland once. Like, that's a significant amount of time that you put into doing that. And these runners are not only going to need to cross the wasteland twice, they're going to have to cross the wasteland twice, potentially knowing or not knowing whether it's all dungeon. So they're going to potentially cross a second time, only to be locked by the first two checks, which is not what they want. So if you're in a position of a runner where you have all the items to do the stone dungeon, but don't have the mirror shield, do you just do the dungeons anyway to rush Requiem. So
Yeah.
no, you don't. At the end of the day, like you don't. Here's the BK. Here.
Yeah, not too bad. That was nice routing.
It's only good routing if you don't do the Dark Link loop. Oh yeah, I guess either way that's...
I mean, Rafa's in go mode. So, right? Do I have that right? Rafa's in go mode except for Requiem? Oh, Emo, no.
Dungeon?
What?
He can do every dungeon.
I think so. I think I'm looking at that right. Oh, the bombs for strength too. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not remember if Rafa peaked Tektite Grotto or not, which is something in Broat's favor. He knows where a bomb bag is. Alright. This will be water down for Rafa, and he's gonna get some bad news.
Rafa's gonna be 5 meds in.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much every single item to beat the seed.
Yep.
But still is really going to be struggling. We're saying that actually Shadow might not have anything, but like Shadow or Forest could have a strength.
Yes. There is another strength out there somewhere. We have no... Here's the problem behind everything with that Sacred Forest Meadow path. The hammer locked everything.
Yeah.
And so if, in fact, the 2 hinted things are Saria's song and hammer, and not the hook shot, it becomes very unfortunate because you don't know, alright, well, which of these do I follow? And... oh, we had 2 bow-locked bows?
Bow on shoots some.
That's really bad for purple.
Oh, wow.
We have not talked about purple not having a bow yet. So...
yeah. So many of these locations are orphanable. It's nuts, actually. The hammer. Yep. I wouldn't say the Kakiri sword is orphanable, especially with it being path, but Broke's done it somehow. Like the bomb bag. Like, what is with these? Like, all of these locations are orphanable. It's one of the, when you have like put 80 runners in a pot and you shuffle them all up, somebody's gonna find the god route. But even for and 7 runners will do well, but a lot of these runners are going to be missing 1 item for a very long time.
Yep. Yeah, and in this case, sorry. I don't know when Broke goes back. Maybe he's going back now to double check that Goron City maze. That keeps him in this.
Yeah, what keeps him in it is that it's path. If it wasn't, you'd have Valera, you're a goner, right? Yeah, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
And then Rafa needs the bombs. Could find a strength 2. We've seen a lot of forest. Like, we've seen all of forest even. We've not seen all of shadow. So it's looking very likely the strength 3 is strength 2 locked. Purple rupees in that bow when you go into Shao Goron City. We've known how much that has hit runners this season. Like, is really Emo the one that's kind of like, they don't have a bomb bag?
Yeah. Either. I would say Rafa and Emo probably. Okay, Rafa's getting the bombs, which is exactly what he needs to do.
Nice. But Do you go back
Going and doing going and doing Bombchu bowling feels like a weird. So we talked about this recently because there was a weird instance just like this where I'm like, this is a perfect example of a time where what you do is you copy your file, go child, do lens minigame or whatever it is that you need to do, Bombchu bowling in this case. And if it doesn't pan out, you go back to your other file. Like, it wastes some time, but it doesn't need to waste as much time. And Bro did go back, did get that Kokiri sword. GG's Bro.
That was the seed that... Oh, nice, well done, Bro. That was the seed where, like, there was the half lens was on...
Yes.
On the, fire temple, and I was just like, maybe the right play is to save quit in there and check the lens game, and whether you find your final item, whatever it was.
Right. And that's one of the things we talked earlier about playing aggressive versus safe. And I think that your mentality does change the closer you get to go mode. How much are you willing to risk something like, okay, the time it takes to go do lens minigame when all you're missing is one item?
Yeah, because if you're only missing one item and you have a lot of checks to do, you may as well rush that easy stuff because you know, look at the RSL scene I played yesterday. Like, didn't do Pierre, didn't do Hammer Chest because I had 5 of the dungeons to do. Like, I might as well do those rather than do the slow checks, and got lucky. And then you kind of balance that against the qual being like, well, it's a qual, I might as well do these slow checks because, you know, I don't want to quickly dunce out my qual because I've decided to skip the Megas and Hammer Chest. So so many different dynamics. It's crazy. Like, I like what Boss just said here. Like, is Rafa gambling on AD, or is Rafa just doing AD, or is Rafa just doing Shadow? Because knowingly in the back of your head, Requiem is behind here. So I'm kind of like flipping both coins at the same time. I'm flipping the AD coin and pushing that, but I'm also flipping the I don't have strength 2 yet, so I might as well do what is probably the best play at the moment in doing Shadow Temple.
Yep, exactly.
So Rafa's kind of in a bit of a, I don't know, like fortunate position that they can do like both of the actions that he wants to do density and kind of do AD are the same thing, which is nice.
Yep. Yeah, there's also a chance that, I mean, what's path for one could potentially be path for all. Finding those hovers in a path location, you know, maybe you get it a little mixed up in your head, even if you've taken good notes.
Yeah, and we said this early on about Minuet, about how Minuet could be path to so much. And actually what SFM was path to was a dungeon that we completely were like, well, why? Like,
yeah.
And it can be like, depending on how you take your notes, it can be very difficult to comprehend what is path for and what is path not. So,
right.
And this is the argument of WoF compared to path, where like if it's WoF, it's kind of a bit more clearer to read, and it's more focused on, less focused on the logical implications and more focused on just kind of.
You need this item.
yeah, like, oh, I found a magic in this area. Like, no poopy.
Yep.
Like, of course I need that.
Yeah, Minuet wasn't even hinted path. Did we have all 5 paths? Or were we still...
Path.
Path?
For anybody in the chat.
That's us if we're doing our jobs right.
Goron City is path to Goma, which we got the Kokiri sword. Lost Woods is path to Twin Rover, which we got the... We still don't know anything about the long shot kind of logic in Spirit Temple.
Yeah, that's true.
We found a hook there. Lon Ranch is path to Baron A4, believe it or not, Russo's letter. Graveyard is path to Volvagia for the Hover Boots. And Sacred Forest Meadow is path to Morpher for... Nocturnal Sarias? Anybody want to help me out there?
Graveyard. Sacred Forest Meadow? Which one are you asking about, sorry?
SFM to Morpher. Siberian says long shot would be needed for what do you say? Did we not get
Oh yeah,
Morpher?
for Lullaby.
For Lullaby. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice, so this kind of is looking like Lost Woods Twin Rover is looking like long shot logic for the dungeons.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. Like, so many of these things, it all happens that nearly everything on that list is behind that hammer. Particularly after we saw that bomb bag and no other bombs. Oh, so purple is gonna have to do bongo with long shot here because he still hasn't found that bow. He does need to find that bow. For anyone who has missed that, the other two bows are bow locked. That bow in Goron City is required. Hard required.
Yeah, and that's just an interesting check.
Yep.
Like,
So
Child Goron City once again, just like pulling the stops out. It's crazy.
there was nothing in ice actually.
No, we had Bolero, and then that was it. That was
Yeah.
all that was in ice, Kevin. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so here's the unfortunate thing for Brode. More age changes. I don't know how compelling it is to get that bomb bag and go back and do bomb tube bowling.
Because they know it's there, right? They know that they've seen it. So.
Mm-hmm. And Shadow
They've seen it, they
had
don't
nothing.
have it. Yeah, and that's bad for Rafa. That's bad that there's not another strength here for Rafa because do you get to a point where it's like I don't know how much Rafa has got left in their child's cleanup section, but like kind of trying to think about what options Rafa has got. Like Rafa could do Forest next, so like Rafa's going to be in this like again predicament. Well, not predicament, but fortunate situation that actually the AD plays and the density plays kind of align with each other, and they're going to be doing something they are hard required to do. So
Hey, Chuckles.
Go back to child. Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
Happy 2 hours.
Yo! Happy 2 hours. What up?
Happy 2 hours. The runner's probably less happy. At least Purple knows why he is doing what he is doing. The other runners are kind of just still looking for some items. But give our runners a follow. Purple Rupees, Rafa, Brotinderdosa, Emo Soda. Thanks to all of them, of course, for letting us restream them. And their links are in chat if you want to go give them a follow. Our trackers today doing double duty. Axel Ryman, Warren Traveler. Thanks you both. Oof. We're getting worse. We're getting worse.
We're getting worse. It wasn't good to start off with.
It wasn't good to start off with.
The ceiling was good. Don't ask us what the floor is.
And my co-com, Chuckles. Thanks for being here. And I believe our restreamer now is VXR. Big thanks to Tobias, who kicked everything off and went to bed as he should, since it's like 3 a.m. 2 a.m. It's only 2 a.m.
Yeah, I'm so much happier that I'm here with you than playing the seed. This would be an awful seed to play. So, need sleep. Just people.
Yep. And of course, thank you, chat, for being here with us and enjoying this monstrous seed. It could have been benevolent and given us a key in adult. It did not.
Yeah, for completely nothing Shadow and Forest as well. Like it wasn't even the dodgy strength left in there or anything like that. It is just do actions to complete game.
Yep. I'm gonna call it right now. It's gonna be a small key and boss key in Child Spirit, just to make it a little less painful.
Small key and boss key would be fun.
Yep.
Small key. No, it's small key and strength 3.
No. So what you're saying is country bowling's not required.
Yeah,
Oh, Bossage agrees with you. A strength and a small key.
It would not be required, yeah, in those circumstances. Great for Rafa.
Yo, Xenu!
I tell you what, this has been a really fun race to watch.
Yeah,
Like,
we're starting to see some of that convergence you were talking about, but everyone is still mostly doing different things.
Yeah.
And like you said, Emo's on a pretty good path here. But only did Stone Forest, didn't just go. Oh, can't go straight into Shadow yet.
Emo didn't get the boomerang.
Yeah, that's in Fire.
In Fire though, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were in Fire.
Yeah, Emo didn't get the boomerang, is that right? It's not on their personal tracker, so that's why we're asking.
Yeah. They killed Vol.
That's bad.
Okay. Interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, it's just like everyone's taking this seed in completely different ways, and it's like sometimes there's a seed and you have one item that's kind of a bit nowhere, but everything else is linear. But it's like 3-4 items here are just like out of the way, difficult to get to, and we're seeing this in the different forerunners that we've got.
So someone in chat, I think, said exactly this, that depending on how you do your water routing, you might end up full clearing the seed looking for Mirror Shield. And
depending on whether you do the compass check first or last.
So purple
Didn't do the compass chest first.
didn't do the compass check.
I would say a friend of mine has been trying to convince me, or has said to me that you should always do the compass chest last, and I've not paid attention.
Is that Heaps?
No, it's Heaps do that as well. What a terrible idea! No, just do the.
I am of the opinion that if you have iron boots, you should do compass chest first.
But you could do water temple in so many different ways. It's great.
Yeah, I'm like if especially if you don't have hovers, it's so annoying to have to go there. Mira was on the compass chest.
But don't play Uta strat, yeah.
Yep, water compass chest. Okay, which is right below where purple is now.
Yeah, they're doing pillar, so that would make sense if they're going to...
Yeah, if they're gonna just drop down here and peek it, then okay, purple's fine. Everything's fine.
If you do the weird kind of... I don't know why anybody would do this, but if you would do the map chest, torches chest, and then go to...
Oh no, purple!
Like that. Like, you can't get back up there. There's no push on target. Save grip! Save grip, purple! If for some reason you do map torches and then do the dark link loop, like you're going to be stranded. But I don't know anybody who does that. Like,
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that combination. You would do compass map torches, no compass map cracked, and then the dark link loop, or you would do the whole lower section first, and then dark link, and then the section.
Yep. And that is AD done for Rafa, which is going to be great. He's gonna find out at least that, child spirit isn't a bad thing.
Has Rafa done Forest?
Oh, maybe not. No. I lied. Alright.
Yo, I got something right.
Oh. But that's officially go mode for purple, then.
Yeah, picking up this mirror shield.
Yep.
They just need to do stuff.
Yeah, they need to do stuff. They technically need Requiem. But they're gonna do that.
Oh, still needs a bow. Oh my goodness.
I know. I'm so bad. I'm sorry, chat, for lying to you.
Oh, no.
Is it a lie if you don't know that it's a lie when you say it? Philosophical question.
You lied twice in 60 seconds. How do you feel about that?
Fine. I'm absolutely fine with that.
You're fine. I'm chill. I'm absolutely chill with that. Do you not care? Yeah, it still needs to go on part. This is fun. Boston,
Yeah.
you should be understanding that I would lie to you. I would just be concerned if Mel was lying to you. Like, that was the living spirit of honesty and decency in this community, and I'm clearly the epitome of deviance in this community.
I don't know that I want that on my shoulders. And yes, thank you, chat, for reminding me yet again that purple doesn't have a bow still.
Hey, Mel.
Yes?
Purple doesn't have a bow.
Yes. Thank you.
And Rafa's going to the forest temple, which according to Mel, Rafa's already done. So I don't know what he's doing.
So, no, okay, here's what happened. I saw Rafa fighting Bongo, but he had pre-marked one of the stones on his own tracker.
I know.
So I thought, oh, this is the third stone dungeon.
And the writing is so small that you can't actually see that the stone that he marked said shadow. So
yeah.
I know exactly what happened. I know exactly what happened. But it's just fun. It's just fun laughing at you.
Thanks. I appreciate you.
Right.
Okay, so
summarize what's going on. Purple's missing a bow. Rafa is missing the strength 2 from Bombshy Bowling.
Yep.
Brot now has the Kikiri sword.
Yep.
But is still missing the bomb bag and the strength 2 from Bombshy Bowling.
But Brot does know where the bomb bag is.
Brot knows.
Yeah. Purple also has, well, sorry, not purple. Rafa has a kind of benefit here. I would say purple does too, but without a bow, he can't do AD. Rafa's gonna have to go child. And is gonna pick up that Requiem, and is very likely to do child market checks while child. So, purple probably going ice here, which we know is unfortunately kind of just lost time. Yes, everyone has to go child, but Rafa is the closest to doing that.
And
so,
then what is Emo? Emo is also missing bomb bag and strength.
Yes.
But
I do not know when Emo gets either of those things.
Emo does not know that the bomb bag is in the Tectite Grotto.
Right.
Oh, and Boomerang. They skipped the Boomerang as well. Oh,
ooh.
Jesus poozers.
And yeah, that Boomerang's rough. Let's see. Required age change count this seed. You need to go adult to get your Minuet technically and your Sarias. So one age change because we started as child.
Yeah.
You need to go back child to get your hammer. Back adult to... Yeah, let's see. So back adult to use the hammer and get your Kokiri sword. Back child to use the Kokiri sword and get your iron boots and your magic, though there was another magic available. Back adult so you could utilize those items to get your bomb bag. Back child to get your strength 2 off Bombchu Bowling. Back adult to go further use the hammer. Well, you could wrap some of that in. You could do fire still too. So 9.
And this is kind of picturing it all in the way that you do it in the perfect way as well. Like,
yeah.
If you're like Emo, for example, who had this really long child section and missed out on the hammer the first time, and you skipped over quite a lot of stuff into, delayed getting that hammer, that kind of just backfires and pushes everything back as well.
Yeah.
Purple was the only runner of our 4 restreamed who was able to confirm it was AD in their first visit, which is why I like their position in a way, because just in generic time save, they've already got 5 meds, 2 stones. Just don't know where that bow is. Rafa is 5 meds, 2 stones as well, but in forest, so yeah. It's just been a really fun seed to watch from the outside, and a terrible seed to actually play itself.
Yeah, especially, I think one of the things that is so interesting, usually it's a little easier early on to piece together the logic, but when you get something kind of weird like this, where it's all just behind kind of 1 or 2 items, it gets so easy to lose track of some of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone in chat that, might have otherwise been playing this, like, nah. Okay,
because you know there are going to be 5 or so people who are going to do this perfectly, and you're just going to be behind them. That's just how kind of the qualification system works, that you need to follow the god route to get the maximum amount of points possible, and if you don't, then you struggle. It is helped by the fact that this is AD, so the longer that seeds go on for, the kind of, it only takes X amount of time to full clear a seed, so the more you have to do, the less casino it gets, the better the point distribution becomes, so there's that.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, the faster you can clear a seed, the better it is anyway, but again, it ties into that there are no foolishes, so it is very likely most people are going to be taking the same route, minus those, 5 or 6 that you referenced, that god route, so to speak. Bro, going... Wait, where are we going, bro? I'm hoping Texite Grotto for your bomb bag.
Yeah, it looks like heading towards the Texite Grotto.
Ooh. That mirror shield kind of looked like key lime pie.
Sometimes was like, please just shoot the switch. I think Emo rolled into that water jet about 15 times.
Oh. Usually I see like 1 or 2 attempts and then just shoot it.
I do 2 and then shoot. Emo did it about 15 times. It's completely like, just shoot the switch. You're not getting it. And sometimes it just happens that it's quite specific timing.
So, Broat, kinda hard to tell if Broat is taking a like full-on lead here, but in a similar position to Rafa, is going to be going child soon, has picked up that bomb bag. And
it could be shock lead taken really, because they've got the bomb bag and now they're going child, and assuming where they they don't just warp out of the Temple of Time, if they do Bombchu Bowling, they've actually got everything to complete the seed then.
Yeah.
And they've already done AD.
And they've already completed AD, which is why they're going child.
Yeah. Don't play Serenade out of her.
I mean, it's fine. It's fine if he does. He can still go into market.
I mean,
from there.
Like, it's a lot easier to dodge bombshell rolls.
Yeah.
If you play
Yeah,
Serenade
you're right.
out of it. Oh yeah, they haven't got the mirror shield, but assuming they don't do some wacky water dodginess, they'll be fine.
Yeah, they're gonna go do Child Spirit for sure.
But I mean, they can complete the seed. They're not avoiding the bow or the bomb bag or the strength that is really holding up the runners.
Yep. Yeah.
Those are my favorite watershed.
I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
Alright, I'll hold the fort. I don't really know what to do to hold the fort. Purple rupees is actually in ice, which we kind of suspected from the direction they were going to take. Rafa's finishing up Forest, and Emo is about to get the Oski here. Strength is in Child Spirit. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we forgot that, of course. And Brote's entering the market now, so are they going to turn right? So they're going to pick up the Strength 2. So they're going to be in, they don't know it yet, but they're going to be in go mode by the time they hit the Water Temple. So, hoggers for them. Hey, hello, that's my life normally. hoping my students don't bully me. So Brote's in a good position. I'm actually thinking whether Purple may go deep fire after this. Them being adult already and not clearing much of fire.
Ew.
Not seeing a runner completed yet. They may go deep fire after this.
I don't like that.
Deep
Please
fire?
Please don't go deep fire, Purple.
It seems reasonable at this point.
I mean, it does. I don't have to like it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm in Purple's position, and that's the best play.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say it, and I know so many runners disagree with this philosophy. Full clear your path locations, of which Goron City is one.
Yeah, it's hard when you've picked up the Kikiri sword for Path of Goma.
Mm-hmm.
It's different if you pick up a bow for Path of Morpher.
Mm-hmm.
They're two different things you're thinking about. When you've got a very explicit path completed, it's done. It's completed. Purple might get looked out on if he gets bow locked out of fire, which also makes it a bit more nicer to go towards because you may just get shut out of it straight away. It's actually very likely you get shut out of it because you need 2 keys to continue.
Does Brote think he's missing something?
Brote's doing Child Spirit, which he needs to
Yeah,
do.
but it looked like he went and did Castle Fairy.
Oh no, but they still need Mirror Shield from the.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's cool. That's absolutely fine.
So Brote is still missing something.
Yeah, Brote needs mirror.
We just know it's on the way.
Yeah.
After Child Spirit.
Like, we're not concerned with what Brote's doing.
Yep. Emo.
Emo's not F. They're just probably considering this a good time to enjoy themselves.
It is a long, very long couple of cutscenes.
Yeah, there's a combination of cutscenes.
Yeah.
I tell you what, when Water Temple is the last dungeon for you to complete and you have to sit through these last 2 cutscenes, it is painful. And you see the runners clocking in, and it's like, can I just be done with this already?
Yep. Small key. Did we see a single runner turn in 10 or 20 skulls? Or
think we've
do
seen
adult
skulls.
shooting.
We've definitely seen skulls.
Okay.
Here's a big chest. Here comes the strength.
Strength?
Ah,
Comic.
I would have laughed so hard.
That's nasty.
What me and Bossage thought. That would have been great.
Oh, we are just dinsing this Anubis.
Yes.
Yep,
Brilliant.
that's extremely bomb locked.
Yeah.
Being behind
Shadow.
Dodongos and Shadow. And the bomb. And the bow behind the bomb bag.
There are multiple instances of that being bomb locked.
And there you go, Chuckles.
Purple's in fire.
Purple's in fire. Alright, I hope you're happy. Hope you're
Do you
happy
wanna know the
now.
truth? It's funny because we were already singing that song today, so
There will not be a bailout bow here, unfortunately. We have seen
there
both.
has to be 2 keys.
Yeah.
And
We
we've
have
already
seen
yeah.
all 3 bows, and the other 2 are hard bow locked.
Yep.
And here is Bro going into water, which he doesn't know it, but is going to put him into go mode.
I really hope Broat doesn't go fancy here and is like, I'm gonna do some awkward route that dodges the compass chest. Because that's just silly.
Dodgy dodge dodge.
There
I
we
think
go.
this is a perfect example of a time where you do not bail on water. Broat's done everything else except deep fire, basically.
That is basically true. Yeah. Yeah, Broat has really cleared the seed extremely quickly. Like that is a lot to do. You actually like bring up like speed, and we are now 224 into this seed, and nobody is done. So
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if in like 20 minutes we have our first finisher. Like, it's still a lot to do, but seeing some of the names who are in this race, I can see them if one of them caught the right path.
I think fewer. I think fewer, and I'm gonna put a name out there. I think What the Hell is gonna win the seed. I think this is a very good seed for What the Hell is
In like 15 minutes.
Yeah. I'll say
I can see
15
that.
minutes. Like 2-4C. What the Hell wins. Book it.
I was figuring like right about now, someone picking up the last item they needed and having to go beat a boss and then do climb.
Yeah. Makes sense. I think if you're somebody who has done what Purple has done and you get their GCG with the strength 2, and you kind of clock everything and you get the bow, like that's the only thing that's holding Purple up is the bow. The only thing that's holding them up is not having that bow.
Yep.
And if you have that bow, you meet inside a trailer. Literally, I'm only watching this. I've not looked at anybody else's streams or anything like that. So,
yeah, and like unfortunately, Purple was not bow locked out of fire.
Yeah, so gonna have to continue, and that is actually really unfortunate that they picked up 2 small keys, and they're going to have to continue. And this would be me. This would be me right now. I think I would be exactly where Purple is, climbing this fire temple, and completely last location and where that bow is.
Yep. And Bro, unfortunately, not getting that mirror shield before lowering the water, so gonna hopefully not bail out of here before getting that. I don't think you do it when you're only missing 1 item and you've done as much, but Goron Putt's just really awkward to route in sometimes. In this case, well, actually, I mean, in this case, Purple could have routed it in after doing Jabu. You can light those torches with Dins. You don't need Lullaby.
You gotta go all the way back though, and you're not doing that.
And you're not doing that because no, it's awkward to get to. I'm just saying that was probably the best opportunity given the items that Purple has and what we've seen him do otherwise. Was right after Jabu.
Okay, so Bro is doing awkward route around water, but is doing it awkwardly enough that they're going to find their mirror shield chest as they drop down here. So I was a little bit worried that they were going to take the hover boots and go left, but they went right. So it's...
And Wayfaring Fox pointing out a very good thing that like I was saying, if you were logically expected to use Dins on that pot. And it's hard to keep track of all of those nuanced pieces of logic. Because that is our only bow to get the lens on horseback archery.
Broke did a peek in Water Temple. That's the walls are thin in Ocarina of Time Randomizer, and you can put your head through it quite easily if you roll. But that one that Broke did is actually kind of specific. You need to be in a very tight window to do that roll. And he was able to peek that chest before climbing it. That's something I've not let the window for, so that's very good from him.
Yeah, and this is going to be Boss Key and Broat. First on Restream to be in Go mode. I would feel pretty confident saying he'll be finishing first on Restream at this point. Rafa not too far behind, depending on when he picks up that Strength 2. Purple also, I mean, looking pretty good. So Purple can go do nothing right now because he needs to do Forest, right?
Yeah.
I was like, Purple can beat Spirit. Purple can't beat Spirit. I lied to myself.
And they're locked out of Forest because of Song of Time being on Nocturne and everything. So they are running out of checks rapidly.
Yep. It just feels bad to have to go Child for that check. Alright, there's Bosky. And Broat's gonna have a Go mode Spirit which can be pretty fast.
Like, sorry, Rafa was in Child Spirit. What did we see in Child Spirit? Did we...
There was a bomb bag?
There was a bomb bag? Did we see a boss key?
I have not seen the boss key yet.
Kind of just like...
And Emo's back in GTG. Or in GTG for the first time, maybe. No, back. Yep.
Yeah, they're back in it. This is second time. Yeah.
Yep. We did see this room when Purple came through.
Rafa's in Bombshell Bowling.
Let's go, Rafa!
Here we go. Actually, you know what? This is going to be close because Rafa's now done Spirit and is going to basically be in Go mode Spirit, and Broat's in Water. So this is going to be close.
Yep. Nice quick grab. And keeps Morpha against the door. I like that the boss key, like, chain thing goes back on after you've passed through the door. Like, you're locked in here. Rafa, knowing he's in Go mode.
Yeah, Rafa's still... No, Rafa's got keys now. He doesn't know it's AD, but he does have keys. So, do you want to play? No.
Yep.
This is going to be rapid. I'm really excited for this. We're 231 no finishers, and we've got 2 runners in Go mode. Let's go.
Oh, our last bomb bag was on Hammer Chest in Fire.
Oh, nice. Yo, Boss is saying he might not know because no finishes. So do you skip the first 2 checks in Spirit and climb? No, because it could be the boss key. It could be the boss key. It might not be a small key, but it could be a boss key.
Yep.
But that would be
Yeah.
funny if you.
Oh, simultaneous.
Here we go.
Simultaneous requiems. We have got an amazing little race going on here.
I love this. This is exactly what we want to finish this off. And
purple.
I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
I know both these runners very, very well, and I don't know who I would take in an execution battle. I think I would take Rafa, being the kind of more established RSL runner. But Brot is also very good, so like very big MMR runner's been playing this game for a very long time, both these games, so it's gonna be fun.
And Purple doing exactly what he needs to do. He is child again.
Good.
Hopefully going to Goron Pot.
Unfortunately, like Purple's going to need to do Forest Temple following this.
We are going to watch these two runners be in sync for, like, the entirety. This is going to be a good showcase of what Twinrova trolling can look like. Brot with the 1 key. Rafa with 2 needs 1 more small one, I believe, and the boss key.
Yeah.
And, I mean, in Brot's favor, Rafa did some kind of slower checks in Child. Rafa's probably not going to Sunblock Room, for example, but Child Climb Room, probably. Oh!
Yo,
blowing our estimates out of the water. Juke in first place, 233.10. GG's.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. One is Juke. Juke's been playing really, really well. Juke has already played 8 matches. Let me just double check that and double confirm that. But Juke has already played 8, so won't be adding towards their score, but is taking first place and manipulating that top 7 average. So GG's to Juke. I'm not surprised.
There's one of the small keys Rafa will need.
Nice, so just needs a BK and then can just rush. There is no military prize for this. It's for pride and for pride.
Oh, and a Discord roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Purple gonna be picking up bomb refills, missing the timing. And mad if those bomb throws are anything to indicate. And there is boss key. So these two runners are getting...
nice.
Yeah, Rafa's gonna have about a 30-second lead because Brot's gonna need to jump down and grab this key still.
Yeah, can long shot across, so it might only be 20, but yeah, you're absolutely right that we have a race on our hands.
But yep, there's that bow for Purple. Emo, unfortunately, gonna get the bad news here that it is hard AD.
Hard AD.
And they have only done Forest.
Yeah.
Alright. Gosh, it is so fun to watch two runners just be head-to-head like this. Of course, it's still fun to watch Purple and Emo, but you know what I'm saying? You want them to all be close, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no way that we can put this on the restream that they're all kind of similar, but all these runners are at a similar position in the leaderboard. They've all got equal opportunities.
Yep.
Just rando sometimes.
Brot losing a little extra time there, doing that check for some reason. Muscle memory, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you don't think, especially when you're in go mode, you don't think. Right?
Yeah.
You're concentrated on other things. You're concentrated on the leaderboard, and you know,
you're saying I've only seen one finisher so far. I've got about probably like 12 minutes because Twinrova's pretty slow, but
Brot was trying to do the swag strat in that room and actually did some 10 out of 10 gymnastics at the time.
Yep.
In the backflip inside that I've never seen before, which was fantastic.
Alright, so wrote about a Nuburu fight behind Rafa at this point, but you know what? That's plenty of time where they could end up frame for frame again.
Yeah, and I'd also say Rafa is probably an edge execution-wise, because Rafa has been learning a speed run. They've been learning how to do GST of Master Quest or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah, so they've been plugging that in the background as well. So they're
Yep. And yeah, chat pointing out Emo is gonna be picking up that boomerang here. We'll probably be going and doing Dodongos before going Child and doing Jabu.
Nice rang.
Might honestly even hold off. Oh no. Never mind. Oh no, bro. Getting hit by the ice.
Good job, bro's got the titties to
yeah,
not get decimated by this attack. But I tell you what, you don't have double defense in this fight, and these witches hit you. Dang, it hurt.
Bad. The fire is worse though, because if you stay in the fire.
Yeah, even though you're not actually, if the firing is below you on the ground, you're still considered to be in the firing.
Yep.
And there's a good.
And you keep taking damage.
Yeah, you keep taking damage. There's a good clip of my friend Ketchup the Duck who's like just taking damage randomly, like out of nowhere. Like nobody knows why Ketchup is taking damage. It's like because the firing is on the floor and you just can't see it. It's so good.
Someone asked a bit ago what Purple's score would end up looking like. We actually can't have any real understanding of what that will look like until the first 7 finishers, because it's based on the time, the average time of those first 7 finishers. But I would guess if Broat and Rafa are any indication of where our next 6 finishers might come, and I think they might even fall into that range, probably top 10.
Yeah, it's interesting that we've been 6 minutes in from Duke's finish and nobody else has finished as well, which kind of spreads that average even more.
Yeah, the longer we take for a second finisher, the better it is for everyone on Restream who hasn't yet finished. And yeah, so T-Square saying lots of snipes. Snipes only hurt your pride, not necessarily your points in this case. But certainly, we'll probably be seeing clusters of finishers.
Yeah, and I also see alongside that a cluster of forfeits as well. I think there was nothing really in the seed that made you forfeit early, but I think as the seed goes on, we've potentially got a casino for 3 different items, in a way. For the bomb bag, for the strength 2, and for the bow. And I think a lot of people will be suffering from that.
Yeah. Yeah, they hurt. They do. You probably won't get the same points, but you're only losing 1 or 2 as opposed to the person who sniped you. And Rafa in Ganon's castle, starting the climb.
Nice. Keydam's finishing in 240.
Wow.
So GG's to Keydam's. 2 things, Keydam's. Firstly, was in my league in S2, so GG's. Secondly, in my fantasy team. So
I was gonna say, I thought you had Keydam's on your team. Yeah, Broat gonna be probably exactly a minute behind here, between doing that check that wasn't necessary, doing the getting hit by that ice, unfortunately. Emo should be in go mode after Dins, yes. And there's what the hell's finishing.
Let's
almost exactly the time you thought, though.
Let's re-roll the tape. Re-roll the tape. Like, what the hell's finishing in 2:41, which is a minute and 22 seconds after I said that they would finish. So I'm taking that as a win. Honestly, Rafa's doing bomb methods.
Let's go, Rafa.
I love this.
1.5 hearts, even on double defense, is still within one-shot territory for those. So yeah, I get it.
I love this too much. Just like.
But I would say the worst part about this is what gives Broat the time back.
Yeah, you're gonna lose the race, bro. Just light arrows.
Light arrows. GG's, Rafa.
You're the best, Rafa.
All right, making it through. Bro, still a iron knuckle room behind, but
I love that. I love that.
1.5 hearts. You do what you need to.
I love that music. Fantastic.
Oh, fighting both of them with Master Sword is just okay. Yep. All right. Meanwhile, Emo going through Baronade, Purple going through Forest. I think they might also end. Oh no, Emo hasn't done Shadow or finished DC yet.
Yeah.
Correct. Because of Dins right here.
Ice 9 time, finishing in 4th with a time of 2:42.51. So
Yeah, let's
nice
go.
there.
GG's.
I will try and as we go through this, I will try and keep up with how that influences people. For Kidams, that is 7th score for them. They're already kind of locked into the top 64. That just puts them up even further, so that's really good for them. What the hell is already a god doing brilliantly? Who cares? Let's move on. Next runner.
Boring.
What the hell's happened? Oh dear. Doing well.
Okay, so both runners struggling a little bit on the Ganon fight here. Ganondorf fight. Oh no,
Yeah,
Rafa! Rafa, no!
Don't run out of magic now. Nice. They've got that.
Okay, alright, so just like a hit between them. Rafa a little ahead of Broat. Scarlet, 5th place, 2:44.11. GG's. I do think that probably makes it very unlikely that one of these runners is going to take top 7 with an entire Ganon fight, but
they're still going to do really well. Like,
they're still going to do really well.
Ice 9 finished in 4th. That was their 7th qual. They're already pretty much guaranteed to be in the top 64, increasing them further. Scarlet has already done 8, but is already current ranked 4th. I just want to direct you to the Gossip Stone podcast, where I predicted them to do very well in this qualifier. So go and watch that. Great content.
The shameless plug.
I'm shameless. Me? Are you kidding?
No, actually, one of our racers, Emo, is the regular host of the Gossip Stone podcast.
Yeah.
Recently said, "All right, Chuckles, if you want to talk into the void, be my guest."
and I was able to do it twice.
Twice
into the void. Why would anybody allow that?
Because you're good. You're fun to listen to.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So it does look like, unless Rafa has a lot of trouble with Ganon here, we'll be holding on to that slight lead over Broat and possibly taking 6th or 7th. Let's see.
Yeah, it could be getting into the point influencer positions here, which is really interesting.
Volk. 6th place.
Volk,
2:45.58. GG's, Volk.
Nice. Volk is already done 8 runs, so not influencing their score. They're kind of...
Scarlet Sisters. Fair trip.
And that is Rafa in 7th place.
GG's, Rafa.
2:46.26. GG's as Brute!
And Bro in
Finishes-
8th? GG?
Amazing. 246,
Eight
38.
Fabulous.
So good to see two runners who, honestly, Rafa and Bro, amazing runners. I'm so happy that they've done very well. This is Rafa's 7th qual. That's going to push them definitely into the top mid-pack of top 64. And for Bro, that's really going to push them even further into guaranteed top 64 as well. Even into mid-position top 64. So amazing. Well done. I'm so happy for both of these runners. They've done really well today.
Yeah. Super fun. Yeah, Bro had a couple unfortunate, like, early routing decisions, but like we were talking about earlier, like, it didn't necessarily mean that you parlay that into a restream win. And we're kind of seeing that from Purple here, who kind of had a pretty clear early advantage, still going to do very well, as far as the finish list is looking like. But one item can trip you up, especially if it's in a place that you don't enjoy going or don't, you know, think about routing in.
Yeah, and I think with Brett and Rafa, we kind of spoke about it before in that it was a bit of double bubble that the best plays they could have done were also the AD plays, right? So they were doing the dense plays to find the items they wanted.
I assume we are inviting them in, hopefully. Okay. Thanks, VXR.
I would be surprised if either of these runners
Throat
decline.
is joining. Can we... Oh! We have powers! There we go! Welcome in, GG's.
Thanks.
Any,
That snipe. Thanks for it.
Hey.
We were watching you. We were watching you both very closely during that last one. You both took completely different routes. We'll get to that eventually. But I just want to start off by saying, Rafa, that Iron Knuckle fight.
Yeah.
Do you want to use any more items like bombs, light arrows, like?
It's Iron Knuckles. That's my response.
That was so good. That was so good. Okay, Rafa, you came first, so you have the option to talk about your experience of the seed. So, anything you want to kind of say firstly?
I'm really happy with my routing, obviously. Also, I was almost sure it was an AD at like 220 because nobody finished and the five first dungeons were really easy to do. So if there was a strength in somewhere in Hyrule and it was not an ID, someone would have finished.
Yeah, and that's kind of what it was really weird because we had a situation where a lot of you didn't find that strength early. And like we didn't know if it was at AD or not until one of the other runners who hasn't finished yet did that.
Yeah, then this bomb bag was really bad. No, you could have it. I could have it really early because at the beginning when I got the 30 shoes from Destiny Grotto, I wonder if I would do ATZ Grotto at the same time. But I decided not, but I could have done it.
Yeah, and we said this on the restream as well, is that at the time you didn't have the ability to do the check, and that's kind of where the safe versus aggressive play kind of comes in. Like, you could have gone and checked it, and just peeked it, and just been like, is it there or not? But because you couldn't do it, it's almost like, why? Why bother when you can't pick up the check.
Yeah,
So-
I saw that.
I think it's absolutely fine.
And if your Gomad is gold scale or iron boots, you would have lost time.
Yeah, absolutely. You could have got it on the way to G2G. You could have peeked it on when you went to G2G the first time, because that's when you did.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's I mean, I would have done the same thing. I would have skipped it.
I just
then-
didn't think about and I didn't have the hammer, I think, at this moment.
So the hammer.
don't remember.
No, I don't think you.
No,
did, 'cause
I got it after the L, so I didn't have the hammer.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Even if with the number of chews, I could have done it.
Mm-hmm.
The chews were crazy.
You had to bought shoes, because that was so funny, because you bought shoes in Colossus after picking up about 40 shoes.
Yeah, I got 50 chews in total, and I hesitated to do central pillar in water to get 10 more chews when I didn't have it anymore.
I thought that was great, because when you picked up the 200 rupees in GTG, that was like, great, Rafa can buy more shoes in
Yeah, that was planned.
that was planned. Drew finished in 9th with 250. GG to Drew. Sea Falcon finished in 10th with 252, and WillX49 has finished in 11th with 252. Brote, my darling.
Yeah, what's up?
We really thought that you were going to really struggle with the siege. You were missing quite a bit for a while, but you kind of picked everything up in the end. How did that go in your kind of mind as you were playing that seed?
Yeah, as I saw the Kokiri sword, which I skipped, I was like, fuck. I thought that was a fucking small chest and not a big one. And I was like, okay, I have one chance to make it a good qual if it's just AD and I have to do anything, so it's okay. So I rushed like everything. Yeah. That was kind of bad, but
I saw you jump on that chest and look when you were in the maze, and I was like, bro, you can't see this chest as child, like you can't if it's a small chest on that side. And then we kind of thought like, oh fuck, like bro thinks that's a small chest. Like, and if that wasn't path, I think you're screwed. I think you've lost. I think because it's path, I think you go back and you check it again.
Yeah, as I got the ZL and checked like the 2 checks in Goron City, which I got the bow, the only one which was available. I was like, okay, let's check the bow checks and do forest instead. But yeah, nothing at all that leads to the Kokiri sword, and I was like, fuck. Was that a big chest? And I just mislooked at. Let's check that. So, yeah.
Yeah, because I think the fact that it was, and we talked a little bit about this on the restream in terms of the path anyway, but because it was to Goma, it very explicitly had to be something that was Kokiri sword. Like it had to go towards the Kokiri sword. Because you got the bow in the pot, but that didn't lead to Goma. And I tell you what, if this was Waff hints and not path hints, and it was Goron City as Way of the Hero, and you picked up the bow, you might have never gone back there as well.
I will never come back for this.
yeah. But because it was explicitly to Queen Goma, like, you're like, nothing has gone towards Queen Goma. I've got to go and check this again. So, yeah, I mean, next time...
Yeah, I had much luck, because I saw the bomb bag in Tech Roto, and I was like, okay, this could be my first bomb bag, and everything I'm doing here is just like locked by bombs, early fear somewhere. So the iron boots should be somewhere early, and I didn't have that much early checks left. I had like nothing left, which is not bomb locked. So it has to be there, or I missed something really bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Very
much
quickly.
everything.
Oh, go on.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Yoshi still finishing in 12th, Mr. Marston 13th, 14th, Weird 15th, Marco 16th, and Kirk
Holy shit.
17th.
GG's, everyone. Yeah, we were talking about this a lot on Restream, how everything ended up kind of being behind that minuet for Sarios for that hammer, ultimately. And even at the end, piece together, you're expected to do Goron Pot with that Dins that you pick up in Jabu, because your bow locks your lens for crossing.
Yeah, where are the lens?
Horseback archery, 1500.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so nowhere important.
Yeah, nowhere important, but it was interesting because we were counting out how many age changes you were required to do. Like, just
Yeah, that's
required to
crazy.
do. It was so
Yeah,
many.
and thank goodness you had Prelude the Seed, because the fact that we saw it really early on between the four of you, in that because you got all those chews early on, and I would like to hear what you think about when you picked up those chews, and how did those chews influence your early routing? So Rafa, how did those chews influence your early routing?
It was like bombs. I did everything behind bombs.
Yeah, yeah.
I had so much choose. I was like, I will never miss any chew. And
That's so funny because I said as well, like when you picked up 30 chews very early on, I was like, nobody's going to care about bomb bags, and then of course the bomb bag is actually like hard required in this seed because we don't know where strength 3 is yet. Brett, what about you with those chews?
Yeah, it's the same. I had like 30 chews, and I was like, okay, I don't need bombs, hopefully.
What is this seed?
Yeah, and especially when you got a wallet on chickens, and the first thing that I said was like, just remember the wallet unlocks the bomb chews when you can get Requiem, and then it's like you can have 100 bomb chews if you just open up some chests. So ignore what I've said. Who cares?
That's right.
Yeah, the first like 5 minutes were just me and Chuckles, doing some theory crafting, talking about all the things you could do, and then everything proving all of that wrong. We're like, oh, Serenade's actually pretty great. Here's Prelude. Oh, well, Serenade's bad now.
Yeah. We were kind of loving Prelude, Serenade to start off with, and then Prelude, loving the chews, and then many of them. And like every time I said something, it was basically like, I was like, why has nobody gone Forest? And then 5 seconds later, Rafa, you played Minuet and went into Forest.
Yeah, of course.
Everything was kind of... I think what's really interesting about this scene, and maybe with the route that you took, Rafa, is how you were looking for you were looking for the strength, and we
Yes.
didn't know where the strength 3 was, and you kind of did the AD side of things. So it'd be interesting to hear kind of explain, the decision making between you going to like Forest and Shadow at that point to look for the strength.
To be honest, after the water, I was going to go to GTG because I didn't have any choose. So I was like, okay, I go to GTG. I farm the 20 rupees, in the Thief's Hideout.
Yeah.
I go buy 10 choose. I do GTG, and after that I would see. And then when I found the bond bag in Tectite Grotto, I was like, Shadow and Forest maybe required in this seed, so it would be better to do Shadow before anything other. So that's why I did the AD blind.
Yeah. And like you said, when there's like nobody's finished by the time you get to 220, then it's like, well, clearly, like,
Yeah.
it's fine. Is there anything else either of you need to kind of comment on or anything like that?
Just one single thing. Top 64, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Like,
go.
We've
Yeah,
had a really
I guess that's a.
interesting, like. No, I've spoken way too much today.
All right. I just wanted to get their comments on S6 settings, you know, the usual, what they're looking forward
Yeah.
to. I think both of you still have a couple quals left, or maybe it's just one for each of you.
I have one left, but I don't know if I'll do it because tomorrow, obviously, I won't do it because of reasons.
What are you doing tomorrow, Rafa? What are you going to be doing?
Or maybe watching a match. Maybe.
What match are you going to be watching? For anybody who doesn't know, it's the Football World Cup, and France might be in it versus
Argentina.
Argentina. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm also watching it, so that's why I will not be playing.
And the last one is the 21, and I'm too lazy to play it.
Sick, cool. Yeah, I think you're already in you're in a really good position. We've kind of been commenting as we went through like how you all are in like really similar positions of being late in the qualifier period and can still kind of like up your score. You know what, Mel, have you opened up the new standards page to see what our runners scored yet?
I am not, but I can. Give me 1 second.
Ah, interesting. Because I think you're all going to have scored really good kind of things here.
Yeah.
Rafa, this might even be your best kind of one.
Yeah, it's my best.
Is it? Is it your
Wow,
best?
GG's.
Thanks.
Nice. So that's going to get you what? You're currently kind of in 50th, predicted 41, so that's going to get you kind of above that.
Mhm.
And brought Tinder Dosa, you've got some kind of low 800s to knock out, but I'm assuming this is like a high 900 for you as well. So how do you feel about you just like got into top 64 last time. So what do you think your chances are going into this time?
To last year, I was a bit lucky to get into top 64, but this year I practiced a lot, and I guess I could make some places, some matches. Let's see how it works. Yeah,
I mean,
to the quals, I have 2 left. I could do 2 more, but maybe I'm just doing the Wednesday one. I think it's on Wednesday.
The Lassie one on the Wednesday.
Yeah. Tomorrow I don't have time. Yeah, that's it for me, I guess. So
nice, and you're kind of definitely very safely in that almost top half of of top 64, which is definitely an improvement on your last score, and I think that shows it in the amount you've been playing the seed and things like that. Playing the game.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah, not bad for someone who forgot they had to do quals for the first, like, 12.
And Rafa, you were in the course Challenge Cup last time. You were my prediction to win Challenge Cup.
Yeah, but no.
You got to brackets, but now here you are. As we just keep an eye on Purple, who is in the Ganon 2 fight. You're kind of rocking in that very safe top 64 range. So, what are your kind of hopes into top 64?
I would want to win a match. That's the minimal I would like.
Win a match.
I believe in you.
I like that.
I believe in that.
Yeah. Because, like, for those who haven't been following RSL as well, Rafa is 4-1 in that as well, so you're safe into brackets 2 there.
And Shockers is 3-2, so he's doing the tiebreak. So it's
I'm in the loss
not
room.
nothing
So
also.
I'm in the loss room for that. That's cool. Yeah, like I think you've got great kind of opportunities to win a match there.
Yeah, I've reached my objective, so I'm pretty happy in this tournament.
I mean, and you beat Ecola in the French.
Yes.
Have I bigged you up enough? Like, have I done my objective to make you look good on the stream?
Purple
Can you
is
repeat?
entering the second phase of Ganon.
Nice. So we're going to be seeing purple. I mean, just running through. We've had. What was I saying? We've had Zenu, Rockchalk, Sanzu, Alex HD, J-Bone, Schultz, Heapsake, Cola, Alexis Sora, Kerox, Oxyman, Tobor, Tudos, Jimbo, all finishing the seed. Congratulations to them. As we have purple roasting loin of pig using some magic.
Just the loin? Wow.
Maybe some bones.
Anyway, get your GGs in chat. Purple Rupee is going to be finishing up here.
GG's purple.
GG's Purple, and
Let's
we will
go,
see if
GG.
they will be joining us as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's for
I have
Rafa and
to
Bro as
leave.
well. Oh, okay, go on.
Okay,
Yeah.
bro.
Thanks
Okay.
for the restream.
GG's.
Have a good night.
Good
See you
night.
next
Good
time.
night.
Love you, bro. Bye-bye.
Leo,
See you,
say-
dude.
Bye.
Imagine not sticking around at 3 a.m.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah. Purple was actually in Rafa. Purple was probably in the best position out of all of you an hour in.
Oh.
They had strength 2 going towards GTG.
I expected that. So I guess he was the first to discover it was an AD.
Yeah, for us on Restream, they were the first to scoop, but it was just the bow on the Goron pot. So they did deep fire.
I didn't understand what I still don't understand why my setup with the truth didn't work. I'm still
Oh.
a bit salty about that.
We think
Welcome
that
in,
you,
Purple. GG's.
Hey, Purple.
Hey, GG.
We think
Hi,
that
Flo.
you were not holding on for 3 flashes. I think you were only holding on for 2.
I
So-
think once I did 3, but I'm going to re-practice this.
Yeah, review that because the chat was saying something about the number of flashes that you were doing. So, oh no, or 2 long flashes. You were doing it for too many flashes. Monster says.
Oh,
Maybe.
okay. So, Purple, thoughts on the seed? How you routed? Obviously that bow caused some issues.
Yeah, I didn't even think about how that was in logic without ZL. That just slipped my mind until, like, I was in fire, and at which point I'm like, okay, I'm here in fire, I might as well commit.
Yeah,
And then I was like,
we didn't.
I just
piece
assumed
that
it was, like,
together.
Lens. I was trying to figure out where Lens was to put, like, Crossing Wasteland into logic, but it's like, no, you just...
Yeah, so we kind of pieced it all together. You're supposed to use that Dins from Jabu to get the bow from the Goron pot, and then Lens is actually on Horseback Archery 1500.
Okay.
In Fortress. But yeah, we were just kind of filling in. Rafa and wrote that when it started, you actually were in the strongest like pathing point, and honestly, through Strength 2, had you routed in Goron pot, like basically the god route at that point. But your opener was really strong. How were you feeling about that until the bow?
Yeah. Pretty good. I was disappointed. It wasn't until I learned it was all dungeons, because I didn't get the Requiem hint for a while. Because I put off Child Market for quite a while. So
Yep.
until then, I was feeling perfect about it. Like, yeah, I'm completely satisfied. Then I was a bit disappointed, like, okay, I could have checked this earlier. And then it wasn't like, oh man, until like the bow. And I'm just like, okay, just waiting for a bow. I knew my ZL was out of logic at the time, but I was like, I could find an out of logic bow, I just gotta rush density. There's 3 of them. What are the odds there's 2 bow-locked bows and 2 bomb-locked bomb eggs in the same seed? Yeah.
Prize! It's this seed. The odds are good.
Yeah. And honestly, Purple, like, I think out of the runners that we've watched, I don't know how you'll feel about me saying this, but you got really unlucky with how this kind of played out.
I mean, that's just kind of this is probably like the 5th or 6th seed. I like hard last location by go.
Because you had the strength. You were the only one on the restream to have strength 2 going towards the desert. So you were the first one for us to find out that it was AD. And when you were kind of looking for that bow, I even said like you're gonna go deep fire next, like because that's the most reasonable place to do.
Yeah.
To go to. And we already knew the bows were elsewhere, and we knew that was dead. So, and I was just like, I feel bad because you could get bailed out if it's bow locked. No, there were enough keys. You can go all the way to the top. So you didn't even get bailed out from that to stop you from going further into deep fire. So it like we've said, there's probably going to be a lot of forfeiters because you're either going to forfeit the bomb bag, the bow, or the strength, and it was just. I honestly, you played it really well, or just on the basis of what happened. You play it so good that you could last location this bow and still come 34th in this. Is an accomplishment. I think you should be proud of that.
Yeah, being like what 34th out of is that top half?
Yes,
I think so. Yes.
Top half when you last location your go mode, last logical possible check.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, there was a long time we thought that you were going to be first in the restream. It was just such a shame, and actually just like a lot of things like for Rafa, the fact that there wasn't another strength available, and for you there wasn't another bow available. It was just it was really unfortunate, and the decisions that you made were just like completely reasonable. And sometimes, this is a saying that people hate, but randos.
Random. Yeah.
Yeah. I know you've had a difficult kind of qual season. I know you were in the top 64 this time and last time. And
I was thinking if I perform on average, I'm like gonna just be just outside, but whatever happens is what happens. So.
Yeah, and it's. I think what we've learnt from this qualifier season, I don't know if many people have kind of said this on Restream, is that the mid-tier player is just getting better and better and better every single season, and to get to that top 64, 64 to 96 kind of area, or I should say 48 to 96, kind of that mid area, is so competitive, and that's why we're seeing that.
Yeah, there's a ton of competition in the 32 to like second and third page. Honestly, like third page runners are probably just as skilled as second page runners. Just depends on what seeds they played and how it turned out.
Yeah, you take runner 33 versus runner 96, and like it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for chat, when we're referring to pages, that standings link that was posted a little bit ago, it's in pages of 32 runners. So that third page, oh, thank you, Rafa. That third page is really scary right now because of when you're looking at the number of runners who have done all 8 of the quals that they're allowed, and Purple, I think this was just your 5th, so like your qualifying qual basically. So you could still play out the last 3 and improve your score still, which I'm assuming you are planning on running tomorrow or...
Tomorrow I'll definitely be participating, depending on what I can arrange with work during the week for the other ones. But at least one more I'm 100% getting in.
Nice. Yeah, it's just been very interesting seeing some of the runners who have ended up on that third page where it's like, okay, there's actually a lot of competition to get into that top 64, and even last year it was really exciting to watch what happened, but this year even more so. We've seen a lot of those mid-tier runners, like Chuckles was referring to, really just running constantly, and improving just drastically. So I'm hyped is my summary.
Yeah, it can be one of those seasons where you have the first seed versus the 64 seed, and it's not a do-over. Like, it's going to be somebody wins, and it is not lucky. It will be.
Yeah, I don't know that there will actually be underdogs this year. Like, you might have thought of some people last year, maybe first time in top 64 being underdogs. I don't think that mentality is going to exist this season at all.
I'd say there's even more competition at the very highest end as well. We're seeing some players that were like upper intermediate reaching like the very top levels and being competitive there, and that's really cool to see as well. There's a lot more people who can compete with like the top 10 level players.
Yeah. The skill level is breaking that kind of scene of the people who have played Rando for or played Ocarina of Time for 10, 15 years. And, like Scarlet, for example, like somebody who I back to do very well is in that top 8, fighting against the people who have been playing Ocarina of Time.
Great to see Scarlet doing that, because she was in my league group in season 2 league, I believe.
Oh, nice. Oh, cool.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool to see someone from one of my league groups performing that well. It's always great to see.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, because
Scarlet
was
the
in my
64
original
seed.
league group. Scarlet was the 64 seed in S5, and now is currently the 5th seed. Like, absolutely incredible. And I think you just look through some of this list, and you kind of you're like, yeah, this kind of makes sense. Like a lot of these people, but some names stick out. Like, You So Epic, like amazing NM runner and Ocarina of Time runner being in the top kind of in 14th is fantastic. Rotchalk has really kind of been up and coming. Ice 9 in terms of the kind of Latino runners, I think Mexican runners, really showing that off. And then you go below that and you see like Hedems, and you see Rafa, you see Broke, you see Chavi. Like, these are just Matchy, Cine, like Volk, like runners that really have come from, from season to season nowhere. Alright, you look at like League, and you look at kind of other tournaments like Mixed Pools and RSL, and they've kind of performed. But in terms of season to season, these are new names, and it goes into what Emo said in the Gossip Zone podcast, which if you've not watched, go and listen to the Gossip Zone podcast.
Can't watch it.
that there's going to be a lot of new runners, and there certainly are a lot of new runners, especially the current number 58 with 3,567 points. Chuckles 501.
Who is this random?
Shoutouts to Chuckles.
I don't know, but I beat him today, so I don't know what he's bragging about. So
by 6 seconds. 6 seconds.
6 whole seconds. I think that's about the amount of time I beat Heaps at our Triforce Splits match too. Artificial Red rating with a party of 4. Welcome in, everyone. GG's. We are just watching Emo do the Stelphos fight in the climb.
Hey, where was this BGS?
Ice.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I was actually saying to myself, it's like, what is this going to be? I bet it's just going to be BGS. It actually was.
Classic.
So I'm like, there's no way it's actually just Bo. Right?
I mean, at least it wasn't another slingshot. It was something, like, useful.
Well, you found the Stone of Agony in Ice as well, didn't you?
I was so excited when I saw that. I was like, oh, there it is. There's Bo. I can finish the seed now, right? No.
Oh, Red pointing out something interesting that I don't think we talked about at all. That Bombay and Child Spirit probably bailing out a lot of runners as they complete 80.
If after the water you have some shoes left, and you do Shadow and Forest, you can have it.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah, if you don't use 50 chews like you almost did, Rafa.
If you don't all waste it on the Golden City pot, yes.
I still can't believe I got to 35 chews without opening any small chests. That feels like an
Yeah,
accomplishment.
the early
Everybody
chew
had so
amounts
many
were
chews.
insane.
It was so funny.
Ugh.
It was.
After I got that 20 pack, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna hope for hearts.
Yep.
I don't have
Yep.
No hurt.
But we were saying, Rafa, as well, that we didn't know where the other strength was, and like we were like, well, it could be in Strato, it could be in Forest. Like you might not even
Oh.
need to get the bomb bag to get the strength. But no, we've not seen it. I don't know where it is. Nobody said anything.
Turns
about where it
out,
is, so.
yeah, the Song of Time, or sorry, the Sacred Forest Meadow path was just very far-reaching behind that hammer. It's terrible. It all intertwined.
Yeah, that's what kind of messy.
Yeah. Purple, you were the first one on Restream to actually cross with Strength 2. You found it quite a bit earlier than everyone else on
I don't
Restream.
even remember where it was, to be honest.
Bombchu Bowling was
Oh,
the
yeah.
second Strength.
Yeah, because I put off Mark. I don't like doing market until I have bomb bag, so that mentality really helped.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, alright.
You were the first one to show us that it was in fact hard AD. What are you thinking when that happens? Just another.
I actually
AD
thought
for
I was
Requiem?
going to be last to learn that. That's actually was my biggest
Oh.
concern. Because I think you can push it much earlier. Not thinking about the silvers thing, just being like, okay, that Requiem hint was just at Hyrule Castle. Someone could have gotten that early and then just crossed to figure out earlier. But I guess if you don't get that strength too, when you do that, go to GTG. Then you don't get that knowledge. Yeah. Yeah, that's... I don't really have too much else to say, other than... Everything up until that point I felt great about. Even though it was a million age changes to get Kokiri Sword and do Deku, I felt I felt like got Deku done really quick at like 30 minutes. That felt pretty good.
Yeah, genuinely you were in the strongest position until the bow hunt began. Like, honestly. If at some point during a child segment you had managed to route that in, I think it would have been different. Sorry, Rafa.
Well, that's rando. Just do the right thing and
just do the right thing. And GG's emo. But yeah, thank you both for joining us for interviews. Feel free, don't feel obligated to stay at all, but happy to hear you all talk to each other about the seed, since you actually had to play through it.
I'm actually going to be calling it a night pretty soon to make sure I get plenty of rest for tomorrow.
Sounds
but
good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, GG's.
And good luck to everyone else still playing in the seed and doing the rest of their qualifiers. Wish the best for everyone. Talk to y'all later.
To you too.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Purple. See you soon, dude.
I'm also gonna to sleep because I don't want to miss the match tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thank you, Rafa.
I kind of like that the NA runner's kind of like, yeah, it's 10 o'clock, want to get to sleep, and it's like the EU runner's like, it's 3 a.m. I might get to sleep.
Not a problem.
Sir, it is 8:30. But thank you, Rafa. GG's. Good luck on whichever quals you decide to run. Good luck in the season.
And thank you to you too for the restream.
It's been my pleasure commentating. You
I expect it.
I love you, dude. See you later.
So yeah.
Pleasure, quote unquote.
Bye.
All right, and we'll see if Emo is joining us.
Nope, that's me.
Yo,
hi
VXR. What are your views on the seed, VXR?
Yeah, what do you think?
Interesting.
Nice.
This was easily one of the less friendly ones because of all of the required age changes. Like, there's very little way around a lot of these age changes.
You just gotta do it. You gotta lump it.
You just suck it up and do it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a few minutes for Emo to see if they want to join.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, they're here.
Yay! Emo, GG's. Oh. Hello? Emo? Emo just joined the waiting room and was like, I'm gonna take off.
Mike, hello.
Oh, there you are.
Emo.
Uh-huh.
GG's.
GG's,
Let's start off with your thoughts on this seed.
I don't know. Thought it was fine. Wasn't really a lot of direction in the mid game, so you just kind of had to not go G2G or ice. And the AD didn't really help a lot, but I don't know. If you get a hint that says Requiem's on OT, it's kind of a 50-50, I think. Whether or not it's actually needed. So it's like, okay, do I go for it and I'm like definitely wrong, or do I not go for it and if it's AD, okay, whatever. But I didn't think I'd be that far behind though. Like I saw Juke finish, I was like, okay, I don't even know if that's AD or not. So finding out it was AD like right after that, it was not great. But
yeah,
other than that, it was fine.
It's funny you said 50-50 because that's exactly what I said at the start. Like it's like 50% hard, 70% logically, and then the other 30% of the time it's like probably not. Like you just gotta kind of. Is Forest Shadow in DC like probably a terrible stone layout for AD?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't great.
I think one of the things that I don't know whether you've noted at the moment is you had quite a long child one, which maybe impacted your ability to get the hammer early, which impacted your ability to get the Kakiri sword early. What was your kind of thoughts about your kind of longer child one the seed?
It was fine. Just got punished that the one song that you get as adult led to the very thing that everything else is left behind. So not great. I mean, there's already Hook there in Lost Woods, so you really want to go all the way back for that one scrub, or I don't know. It just didn't. My route just didn't really line up with the checks, so just kind of rando is like that sometimes. But what can you do?
Yeah, I honestly agree with that. The decisions you made were cool, and it's just like the lineup of, like you said, like it's the one song that you get from adults that unlocks one check that you can do in your child section because you don't get ZL for ages, and it's just unfortunate that and you can't even get the Kakiri sword illogically, like with hover boots, or a different way with strength 2 or something like that. It's just like it just happens to be the hammer that you need to get, and it's shitty like that sometimes.
Yeah, at one point, we were watching kind of everyone else sort of start floundering in their routes, and it looked like you were probably on the best path. So I guess where might you do things differently now? I'm trying to remember exactly the turning point where I think you were in Forest. You were doing Stone Forest without the knowledge that it was hard AD.
Yeah. I think it was fine. Didn't love it, but I didn't even have Blair at that time. So I have to go, and I got the hammer pretty late, so it's like really going to go all the way to the one check and check it in the maze. It just happened to be Kakuri sword.
I think you also missed out on the boomerang and fire as well.
Oh yeah, that was not great either because of the late hammer too. When I was there, it really, So it's fine. It's just it's rando sometimes.
Yeah, it was a really interesting restream. Like we said, even at the start, like having Serenade, Child, Random Spawn, like runners could go anywhere, like at different points, and it was correct. Everybody did something different. People went adult first, people went stayed in child, and sometimes C's are made in that first 5-minute decision on whether you go adult or child first. And I think this was one of the C's that you go child, you pick up Serenade, you pick up the hammer, you pick up the Kakiri sword, you pick up the boomerang, and it just kind of flows from there. If you are able to do the Pega checks that are the pick up the bow in the pot, and you pick up the bomb bag and the strengths as well. So
Oh, this was your 5th, 6th qual, I believe, Emo?
6th one, yeah.
Are you planning to do the 8 that you can?
Yep. Pretty sure I'm dead for top 64, but I'll keep trying to get high scores regardless. So never know.
Just had this up and I closed it, unfortunately. Chuckles, do you still have the predictor up?
I would have to get to like high 900s, and I just don't know if I'll be able to do that with how the quals have been going. So
yeah, to get kind of those big scores, you really do need the quals to kind of go in your favor.
Yeah, I guess I'll ask a kind of probably shitty question. Apologies for my language, chat, but like, what's your mental thought process going into something like that, where you know that you need a really good performance? We were talking about this earlier. Do you make really aggressive plays? Do you make really safe plays? Do you just play the same as you always have?
I was probably playing a little bit too safe this one, but kind of depends on what kind of a runner you are and what your strengths are. I don't think I have anything particularly strong about me, but yeah, just hopefully just find shit and do well. It's really the only thing you can do.
Well, apparently Source Co-op is where your skill set is at.
Oh, great! Yeah, let me know in the main tournament. It's on that when it'll be relevant.
You demolished mine and Milkweed's team by about 40 minutes today. So
yeah.
We've been joking about Mel beating me by 6 seconds, but we haven't been telling chat that actually Toad and Emo beat us both by about 40 minutes. So.
We were cleverly hiding that information.
Yeah, it's you just have to know if you can like win weeklies. If you can win a weekly, you can win a qual. It's the same thing, just bigger. So I don't know. I know I can do well. It's just a matter of getting the right performances, and at least I'm not injured this year. So like, but I did get like a sinus infection recently. So like, maybe it's just not in the cards to be in top whatever. But that's fine.
Just don't fall over anytime soon.
Yeah, don't trip on the sidewalk or whatever it was that happened.
Yeah.
Hand injury, as I recall.
Oh yeah.
But
all right, I love you, Emo dude.
Yeah, hopefully the last couple quals go well. If there are any like final thoughts you have about this qual or the season, absolutely say them, but I usually assume you're saving those for the next episode of the podcast, which Chuckles has been shamelessly promoting all evening.
Oh, it's good to hear. Yeah, we probably won't do another episode until next year, but we'll be talking about qualifiers for sure. And yeah, stay tuned for more, I guess.
Just doing my duty. Mel, you got you got chat control. Can you put some commands in chat?
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. We should shout out our runners one last time.
Yeah, thanks to Purple. Thanks to Rafa. Thanks to Bro. And Emo. All 4 of us who joined us for chats afterwards. So thanks everyone for joining us and just being like ultimately talented in playing this and showing some amazing routes through this. Axel and Warren, who doubled dutied to bring us 4 runners today. Thank you so much. Me and Mel have been talking crap for the whole evening. Don't ask us how much wine we've drank. That's another question for another day. We've done well. Thanks to both of us. Thank you, Mel. Thank you myself as well. I've done great. I know. Thank you, me. Tobias restreamed the first 2 hours, and then VXR has been here for the rest of it. So thank you to them as well. Thank you to ZSR for having us. Thank you, Red, as well, for the feels okay, man. I'm assuming we're going to go in.
Thanks,
race.
Chuckles. Thanks, chat, for being here with us. GG's to all of the runners. I think VXR is going to do the traditional, some announcements, what's upcoming, and take us somewhere else.
Yeah. Tomorrow we've got only a couple of things on the schedule tomorrow morning. First, we've got Qualifier 17 at 9 a.m. Eastern, and then at 10 a.m. Eastern, the second semifinal of the Wind Waker Randomizer Random Settings Tournament. So yeah. And then, of course, we have Quals 18 and 19 Tuesday and Wednesday. So yeah.
Wednesday?
That said, I did not find a raid target, so I think we're just going to go ahead and end it off here. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you later.